mentioned. So you made sure now.
We're on now.
Okay, so what audio do you need to double check?
I already did that.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
No crackling.
So
no crackling
live right now.
We are live on YouTube. Yes, we should be. Let me check just to make sure. Hi, everybody.
It just popped up on my
Welcome
phone.
everyone
it did?
to the.
What's going on, fellas? All right, I'm
Watch TV pre-show.
going to share right now so we can get some folks in the chat.
The wide angle.
Why am I unable to share this right now? Is this public? Is this not public?
What?
I can't share it.
He said he can't share it. He can't share it.
I can't share the broadcast. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's private or public.
It should be public. I changed that setting before I made it go live, but let me see. We're looping audio back through there when you play it like that.
Is that on my phone?
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad.
That's
I couldn't figure out where it was
coming
coming
back through again through your microphone.
Can you turn my headphones up? I need my headphones up.
Public.
It's weird. I don't know
Need
what's
your
going on.
headphones up?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're 1, 2?
Right there. That's good. I like that.
Okay.
Well, Jeremy, you should.
Oh, I did send that logo.
You sent a logo?
Well, I sent it to myself. Do you want it or no?
Not for this. Well, I thought you said there was going to be a separate Ghostbusters thing, or you just want to do that as part of this? Because I could change the
Well,
logo.
I said I didn't know what you want to do. You said you kind of looked at me funny. I don't care.
No, it doesn't make any difference to me.
Would you? We're gonna do spoiler-free review of Ghostbusters. I know you don't want to be spoiled on it. You want to go see the movie, so
They're gonna bust some ghosts.
Well, then good. I would love to discuss
I mean,
it spoiler-ish if
fire
that's
away.
okay.
Fire away.
This is one that
that one won't bother.
you know this property enough that like you're not going to be lost in the
I'm
conversation.
not gonna go to watch it and
Are
be
you
like,
hearing us
holy
well?
shit.
Are you
well,
hearing us?
I mean, like I don't like
Actually, no.
I can't say that there wasn't
Make sure there's a thing turned on the headphones.
there wasn't
Like, I think underneath the ear there might be a switch on one side or something.
super like
No, not on the other one.
like shocking revelations. You know what I'm saying?
That works.
Like I don't think there was too many like
Hear it now.
oh my god, I never saw that coming.
So you can see where you're at with the levels when you're talking there.
Yeah, and I can hear myself a lot better too. Although to be fair, I could hear.
You can also
myself
adjust
alone.
your headphone level with the yellow one, the yellow knob there,
Oh, no,
right
I'm
above
good.
record.
I'm good. It sounds like he's screaming at me, Joel, and I feel attacked.
You mean because of the volume?
Yeah, I'm fucking with you. I'm just joking.
You feel attacked.
I feel
And then it
I'm
makes you-
already in a corner. It's like, how do I make my way out of this room?
Oh, let me make sure that the music works.
And you know what I just sent? They know how to find a fucking link. I just sent it to them.
I put that in that shared album if you want it. I don't know. If you already started, it's fine. I put it there anyway.
Music's playing.
What music is that?
Just the lost medleys.
Sheboygan, Idaho. Yeah, see, look at it. I touched the table.
Remember this one?
You would hear that on the other one anyway, too. Yeah, fuck yeah. Is this the redone one?
No F's, no C's.
No F's, no C's. I didn't even notice I said it. It's terrible. You can blank it out. I mean, not live.
The live is what's going to be monetized or not. Like,
What did I say?
Quick question.
F?
But what? But in what context?
I don't know.
The context doesn't
You're just
matter.
like, oh,
I
that's
get it.
nothing cool or whatever. It was something very casual.
Shit. All right.
Keep
Yeah.
going. Double down.
Just no F's, no C's.
No,
Sorry.
well, it's already too late now. If that's the
I
case.
mean, it's not the first 30 seconds, and if I wanted to, I could just shit kitten stream and start a new one. But like, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Should be ashamed. We had a conversation about this.
We
yesterday.
had a very brief conversation about this.
It's like, come on, bro.
And we had a conversation about this when we decided to start doing a podcast again, and me and him talked about this, and I was emphatically like, "Yo, no, dude, I'm gonna cuss." But like, yeah, you're probably right. It's a wider audience if we don't.
Trust me, I curse more than
Oh, I know.
anybody.
I know.
I
Oh,
love
and I enjoy it. I really do.
love it. But not today.
Right. One of the most creative cursors was like Henry Swearingen from Deadwood, Ian McShane in Deadwood.
Ian McShane.
Like, he
Shout
would
out
say
to
some-
Ian McShane.
He would say some out there stuff and make me laugh out loud.
Ian McShane got some of the most iconic roles in
I
Hollywood.
love Ian McShane. He's one of my favorites. And then when they announced him in GOT, like they announced him before the season, and then he was like that one little dumb part, but he was still really good.
He was in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yep, final season, final two. I think it was the second to last, maybe.
I was semi-comatose through those last 2 seasons.
That's
It
fair.
was that bad.
As you should have been.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything's going then, right?
Yeah, we in there.
I think so.
Yeah, we good with everything?
I'm gonna keep messing.
Check
with
out
this.
all these cameras. Okay. So
You put something in front of me, I'm gonna touch it.
He's like the Ricky Bobby of microphones. I don't know what to do with my
yeah, he
microphone.
literally just
I
can't leave.
just couldn't
Can't not
touch it.
touch it. I told him I'm gonna put a sign on the wall that I point to that says
Stop
stop
touching
touching things.
Right. You should do that, and that would be
I
fun.
need to.
But also the whole like it's gonna shock me if I do. Yeah.
That would work.
Is that what you're expecting? Oh yeah, we could do that too. That's a good other alternative.
Good.
You guys got some really distinctive cologne.
Cologne?
Ugh.
I'm not wearing cologne.
Oh wait, no. What's the problem?
It's a reference to the smell.
It's really earthy.
It's
Yeah, I get it.
right?
God, it tastes like natural spring water.
That's like
it's not.
gr-
I hate that shit.
What? That might have been the whitest statement ever uttered.
Oh man, you just got up, just flip straight out like ah.
I'm glad to explain myself.
All right, fellas, let's podcast
Okay, let's do that. Why don't I hear Dre in my headphones?
because
I need more Dre in my headphones.
because you balance.
I hear
you
him.
did the white balance.
But you're so soft. Here,
He
you
can
put
hear it.
that-
I can hear me.
I think it sounds okay to me. Go ahead and.
Listen in mine and tell me if you hear him.
Let's ask the audience, people in the chat,
Compared
anybody
to-
watching.
No, I
can you hear
don't.
me?
That's weird.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
Joe did that on purpose.
Okay,
He
is
just
there
didn't
anybody
wanna hear
watching
me.
that can verify they can hear you and we're all good?
Yeah, let's say Jay Whackers. You already commented.
I didn't put him
Did you
on.
hear me?
There. That's
Oh,
all.
never
It
mind.
should be up now.
It's cool.
I can hear him.
How about say something?
Hi.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
much better.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're good there.
We should do a separate podcast. The
About
pre-show.
podcasting?
No, it should be called the pre-show podcast,
Okay.
where like the first segment is split off, and then the rest of it is how to watch TV, and then like, it's kind of like The Office. It's like
Did you see me just look at
Really-
the camera like The Office?
it's really meta. You know what I mean?
Wait. Do that again, Jeremy. Okay.
Did it work?
It picked the wrong one.
Yeah. Okay, well, shit. Let's see. How do I do this? We need some music, some theme song here.
Gonna produce a.
Do we have any ideas?
Do we have any? Flip the cameras again, just so we don't make sure we don't get the doorway in them. No, okay, we don't have the doorway in anything.
No, I don't think so.
All right, you're good.
Oh, we do have the doorway right there. You want me to
Oh, well,
move
that's
it
not
closer?
bad. No, you're good.
I can.
No, you're fine.
No, let's leave that one open.
No, because you know what'll happen is you'll hit that camera and knock it over, and we'll have to start over.
Yeah. I was hoping that would be the case so I could start over again. Okay.
Pre-show.
This is how to watch TV.
Shit, I forgot how to do it. Never mind.
Yeah,
that
start
was just
again.
a test, you know.
Yeah, it's just an
I
audio.
literally forgot how we started. My bad.
I'll start it this time.
We got started.
This is how to watch TV.
But it's not.
No.
I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Andre Brown.
Is this the start? Is this?
No, he was
Oh.
just riffing right now.
I wasn't riffing. I was starting it. You got to be organic. Now you just took it from me, and I don't. Have nothing.
Okay. I'm sorry.
have
I
nothing
thought
left.
he was going back to do the actual
no,
read,
fire it
and then
away.
you were. I don't know.
Are you gonna read that?
I have it. That's why I wrote it.
Jesus. All right.
I haven't memorized it yet.
Just go, Joe. Just go, Joe. Just
This
go.
is amazing.
Just go. He's got like a paragraph in the smallest
It's the
font.
same fucking paragraph that I. Damn it. The same freaking paragraph.
This is how to watch TV.
Live from 9 Mile Studio. My name's Joel Henderson.
I
With
am
me, as
Jeremy.
always, this guy that interrupted me. Go ahead.
I am Jeremy Vasitis.
He had to read that?
I did.
He forgot his last name.
That was amazing.
I'm Dre Brown.
I was reading the other paragraph.
He was like Jeremy Vasitis.
We are brought to you by our producer, Comeuppance Network, and sponsored by 9 Mile Branding for all of your professional signs, banners, decals, and graphic design.
Yes, sir. And we also sponsored by AB Cannabis Training. It's for cannabis training. It's kind of in the name. I'm gonna be dry on that one.
Tell
too.
me
I like
more.
I like your stay legal. Keep that tagline.
Did I say stay legal?
You always say at the
He's
end
like,
of the
no. I didn't mean to
Keep
say
yourself
that.
Hey, baby, I got street cred to look out for. I can't say stay legal.
can't be saying shit like stay
I'm
legal on
I'm
it.
playing with you.
I was like, you're not. Yeah, I was like, I'm not making that up.
I'm so playing
Right.
with you.
Anyway.
Yeah, stay legal, man. Get
Right.
certified. Get your jobs in the cannabis industry. All that.
That's the
beautiful
one.
stuff. There you go.
Anyway, check out all of our past and current content, and watch us record this very podcast live at.
Don'teva.com. Okay, so we tried this week to like get on the same page of what we were going to watch. I think Dre dabbled in Chernobyl. I
Yes,
dabbled
sir.
in Arcane on Jeremy's suggestion. We went and saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. I mean, does that pretty much cover it? What else have we been hitting this week?
The Spider-Man trailer.
Okay, that came
New
out.
Spider-Man trailer, and we got to see that at the movie theater last night, which was pretty dope. I did it.
Oof.
We're
got-
gonna get
I got
a
it.
jar.
You know what I
We're just
forgot
gonna
to-
get a
Yeah, that's
jar
what you-
and put it right there.
A cuss jar. That's what
There
you
you
gotta
go.
do.
What
Right.
what I forgot
I
to
stopped
mention
myself there.
at the top of this podcast is no F's, no C's. No,
See,
let's
that's
go.
your fault then. You
I
forgot
did.
to
I
mention that.
forgot.
And let's take the W's out of it too.
It's
And
on
if you
you,
don't know what the
producer.
W is, you haven't been cursing long enough.
Okay. And do you watch anything else besides that stuff?
Okay, so as you mentioned, I did also try to check out Arcane on Jeremy's recommendation. I didn't have a lot of time to get into it, but I did enjoy the first episode.
I
It was
finished
pretty
2.
Cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But Chernobyl, out of the park. It was so dope. You got to get into that. The only other thing I did actually watch was 007, No Time to Die.
I got no
And
time for
I'm
that.
gonna keep that to myself for now, but I'll say this: it might be my favorite Bond movie of all time.
Why are you keeping that to yourself?
Because I know you guys haven't seen it.
I can assure you I have zero interest in any James Bond movies.
I mean,
I'll never watch
honestly
it.
like I haven't. We've already had this discussion. I have maybe seen one or two of the Craig Bond.
So you don't
movies.
care.
I'm not that I don't care. It's just
No, I just want
it's
to
not
know
something-
because
like if it was
before I say
on.
something.
Yeah,
like-
you couldn't ruin anything for me.
Well, I'll say
if I ever
this.
got around to watching it, I
For the-
would have forgotten whatever you said.
For the
Same
folks-
discussion we just had about Ghostbusters with you. Go ahead.
For the folks at
Fire
home,
away.
I won't spoil the movie. If it happened to be any longtime Bond fans like myself from way back in the day with Timothy Dalton and Sean Connery and everything. But I'll say this about this movie. It did something that they've never done in a Bond movie in 50 plus years of making Bond movies. And I thought it was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. It took that thing that made James Bond and like pushed it way out into the stratosphere. I
Like
love it.
Mission Impossible style? Like, what do you mean by pushing it into the stratosphere?
Well,
What
James
is
Bond
that?
has always been kind of kooky, you know what I'm saying, tongue-in-cheek, spycraft type stuff. Mission Impossible was more silly, but James Bond was still not really, like you had like Goldfinger and stuff like that. You had weird villains and all that. But this movie did those weird kooky villain things, but then they like went to the next level. Like
Rami
I-
Malek was the villain in the movie,
yeah,
correct?
yeah, and you put him in the movie, it's already gonna be kind of weird. But the point was,
And he's
I don't
pretty
want
good, though.
You don't like Rami Malek?
Oh no, I love him, but he's weird. You know what I'm saying? I love him. I wrote Mr. Robot, but no, what I was saying, I can't really say why because that would be a spoiler. So I'll just say, if you like Bond, you should watch this. And if you're one of those Bond purists, if you like the people who love Star Wars, don't watch it.
Am I having deja vu, or do we already have this discussion?
No,
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Then maybe me and you did.
we
At a
talked
separate
about
time?
it.
Okay,
we
maybe
talked
that's what
about
I'm
it.
thinking of.
Every conversation on air is a fresh conversation.
I totally felt like your response to James Bond I had heard before.
I mean,
I-
we may
I
have
don't-
talked about it, but like I have
We might have discussed planning to watch it.
I haven't seen anything post like a Pierce Brosnan era, and like they've done nothing to lure me back to where I would want to see it. Like it's just you kind of know what it's gonna be. Like, and some of those movies can be refreshing and like comforting or whatever. Like, oh, I just kind of want to do the same thing again.
Well,
Am I wrong on that?
From what I saw of the Craig stuff, I don't think it was exactly the same. They did
Daniel
change
Craig became the 2000s Bond, whereas Pierce Brosnan's Bond was more like Timothy Dalton, where it was about being suave, cool.
Right.
Daniel Craig took it back to the physicality of the Bond character, kind of like Sean Connery. Sean Connery was like the big tough guy Bond, but Daniel Craig is more physical, and I don't really know how to describe it, but it's a difference between watching Darth Vader fight the old dummy from the first movie,
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, and watching Darth.
Thank you for referring to him as that.
He was an old idiot.
Get
I'm
that.
gonna change my name to hide my identity. I'll keep
Why?
the same name,
I wouldn't. Oh yeah.
and I'll hide right where everyone knows me. But anyway,
And the name I
the
picked
difference
kind of
between watching that
rhymes.
first fight and watching Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fight
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. It's like, okay, it's still a lightsaber fight, but that's not the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's an extension.
No, there was like a
It's-
ton of martial arts
an evolution in it,
choreography that went into things.
Right.
Yeah, no, the Daniel Craig Bond reminds me more of Jason Bourne
Yep,
type of
there you
feel
go.
than the old thing, which I did. I would feel myself probably getting more into than because I do like the Jason Bourne movies. I'm a fan of those.
Yeah, he's like Jason Bourne with a personality.
Yeah, because Jason Bourne was like a 2x4.
He was actually
Dude, who
Matt
could just like
Damon.
beat the shit.
I
out
don't
of
even think Matt Damon knew he filmed those movies. He just followed him around and gave him weapons. They was like, let's see what he does.
Like, how does he know how to fight?
So you reckon that Matt Damon is Jason Bourne?
He is literally Jason Bourne.
He effed a dude up with a pen.
Yeah, no. And
Who
a
hasn't tried that?
rolled up. What was it? Rolled up
Oh,
magazine.
dude, the rolled up magazine. That's a good one too. He was jabbing him in the face with it. Yeah, that was
Yes,
pretty. That was pretty
yes.
bad. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would hurt, but like if you roll up a magazine tight enough to hit somebody with like one of those glossy ones, like the lifestyle magazines
Yeah, good.
that you get in the mail,
Good
thick
quality
one.
of paper.
He picked it up and rolled it up like that, and was knife. The other dude had a knife, and
There was a thing on wrestling
like
where somebody.
oh, he said wrestling. Okay, welcome to the wrestling podcast. Here we go.
It's like 30
Rip my
seconds. Don't
t-shirt
have
off
a-
like ah.
It was just a bit where somebody
Yes.
somebody was walking with a stack of papers, and then somebody gave them bad news, and then the guy walks with the stack of papers into the room to the people who did the thing that made him upset, and just came in and just slammed it into, and it smacked so hard, and they like bumped for it. I don't know. It was really funny. Smacking somebody with a stack of papers is always
he
good.
mentioned wrestling, stack of papers, and all I thought about was Shawn Michaels when he had that tirade and he was going around super kicking everybody in the hallway. That's
Right.
still
Yeah,
a
fair enough.
classic moment.
Super kick, one of my favorite ever finishing moves.
Yeah.
Sweet chin music.
Okay.
I mean, it's simple but effective.
It was exciting.
Go to sleep.
It was
Yeah,
exciting.
it's become
love it
become
when
a middle of the match kind of a move at this point.
I get it, but what would he?
when he
no,
did it?
he made a show out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would get him stumbling, and then he'd be like crouching in the corner, and they just turn around and
Stomp.
go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my faves.
Yeah.
Especially sweet chin music out of nowhere when somebody come off the top rope and he just like turn around and give him one.
Bam.
It's like,
Yeah.
Again, if you're not watching AEW, check it out. It's been excellent lately. Just had to reinforce that recommendation.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we had a pretty lengthy conversation about wrestling last week, didn't we?
Right.
It was a good conversation.
We talked about wrestling.
Yeah, whenever it
joking.
was.
Whenever I hear Goldberg, I just kind of.
Wait, well, who said Goldberg?
That's what we talked about on wrestling.
Guys.
You out?
Bulletproof Monk, best movie ever. Check it out.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and block this fella from
Yeah,
the chat.
can you just...
Right, no.
no, who's that?
That's my nephew. Bulletproof Monk.
I mean, like, Arcane isn't something... sorry for pivoting so hard there. I thought about it, and I was like...
very
It was a very
awkward,
swift turn.
Yeah, segue.
It was-
If you had heard what was going on in my head, it would have been a much smoother segue, but I didn't bother to let that out.
We
So, you know,
can't
what are
hear
you going to
that,
do?
Joe.
Oh, damn it, I always forget that. Because when I'm editing, I can just
Your
put it
inner
in.
monologue.
I
is
can just
there,
pop my
right?
inner monologue in. You
Right.
know, I've not really done that before in the vlog. I should do that,
that would be dope.
right? Just be sitting here right now and I just look at you and I think,
Dre's dope. I'm gonna give you that.
oh, okay, you were doing
So
it
you
for
can just
me. I was
fade him out
Yeah, just
in the
fade. Yeah,
background.
be like, oh.
and then your voice comes in.
Joel sat there with white guy
AEW
face
is
and
fire.
thought,
I agree. AEW is fire.
yeah. Well, Jeremy had recommended Arcane, and like I'm generally more hesitant to start a cartoon than I am a live action show. Just across
listen,
the board.
I'll tell you what. Generally, I will agree with you there. Most animation, or even I don't know, what do you call it? 3D animation? Is that would be like the term for it, or like like there's like Invincible versus Arcane, like those two different styles. Invincible is a 2D animation show. Arcane is 3D animation, somewhere along the lines of like Disney, Pixar.
Okay.
That kind of animation. Like two completely different things, right?
Right.
Okay. So when you say cartoon,
I mean animated,
okay. See, but when you say cartoon to me, my brain says
like child
like
cartoons.
Batman cartoon, like Saturday morning cartoons.
Right.
That's
That's
me
probably
like
the first thing
it
that
gives it
comes to
like
my
to me it
brain.
gives it a negative, not negative per se, but like it makes you think lesser of it. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing that my brain does that too. Like, how can an animated show bring to me the kind of drama that you want from like a live action show?
Right.
There's very few that manage to do so. Aside from Disney, Pixar movies, they can tug at your heartstrings and whatnot. But like, as far as like animated drama to where your like heart's pumping or your palms are sweating or like that we've had this discussion before about invoking some sort of emotion or physical
Right. Yeah. If the
response.
show's not doing that.
Okay. I think I
Sorry.
fully believe that Arcane is one of those shows. I don't know what point you got to it, but I am.
It's interesting because at the very beginning, like I'm talking the first 30 seconds, this opinion spanned over. At first, I'm like,
Spoiler
ugh.
alert for Arcane moving forward.
Very good, thank you.
Oh yeah, sure. I guess that works. I
Yes.
wasn't going to say really anything of any value yet, but that, yeah.
Well, just in case.
Just the minor thing. The first thing I noticed was like, I was like, eh. Like when I saw the animation style. But then 2 or 3 shots in, they did like this wide shot of, what's the guy's name, the bartender? Vander, standing there, and he was kind of looking at them. Like he was standing this way, and they were over on the side, and it was like a side view. And I was like, okay, that's kind of pretty. But generally speaking, that sort of look where they're almost like there have been shots in the show where I'm watching, and if you look at it just right, they look human, like just in the right lighting or in the, especially in episode 2, I started noticing that, and it's like I don't see the point as much making things that are so close to real life. I don't think this show does that all the time, but there are moments where you can see like the faces. It's almost painted.
That's right.
Yeah, I like
So that's
that
what I was going to
art style.
say. So like to me, it looks like a 3D animated show that they
Like
watercolor.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, it's absolutely beautifully
It
animated.
is, yeah.
I can't.
It took me a minute.
Okay. So to me, I was in right away, and I think we made a little discovery yesterday when we were kind of having a discussion about this. That I'm a huge fan of Joe Madura. Do you know who he is?
Not at all.
Not a
He's a
clue.
comic book artist. He drew a lot of X-Men in the 90s. If I showed you some of his artwork, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I know exactly. He did Battle Chasers. You ever heard of Battle Chasers? No. Anyway, so I was a huge fan of him in the 90s. He drew a lot of my favorite X-Men. Like his X-Men are what I think of when I think of the X-Men.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't. So when I see that type of art style, which is it's very common in things like League of Legends and Darksiders. Have you ever seen Darksiders, the video game?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
Joe
I know
Madura.
this.
Joe Madura created Darksiders. He drew all of that.
Nice.
Okay, I just found out yesterday that Joe Madura is involved directly with League of Legends. He drew a lot of stuff. So his art style is directly influencing the show. I have not seen his name in the credits or been paying attention enough to know if he is directly involved, but I can. This is why I'm drawn to it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is why immediately I saw the trailer for this show and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah,
It's way better than I
I
expected.
like the
it was.
show, but let me be real about one thing. I like the art style with that painted 3D look, but I do not like the artistic view or whatever of the actual world that they live in. It gives me a Fievel Goes West kind of vibe, American Tale type of thing. Like, it's really something about it.
I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and disagree with
that
you.
Weird steampunk,
Okay.
dystopic future, cyberpunk thing, whatever I don't know what you would call it. But something
Steampunk
about,
isn't far off.
Well, let's go with steampunk then, because cyberpunk.
I wouldn't
is
call
a
it just
different.
completely that, but
No, I'm saying
there's
something
a feel
about
of that to it.
look of it. It makes it feel boring. You ever experienced?
I
I'm
have
saying,
no idea.
You ever experienced something where you can watch it and the story could be great, but for certain people it's boring just because of the setting, like Firefly, for instance.
We just started that the other
It's
day.
It's a
I
dope
threw it on
story
again.
about family.
I quite like that
It's
show.
about relationships. It's about trust. All kind of other like things, but I couldn't get certain people to watch it because they were like, they see it and this is space
Cowboys.
and then they see the juxtaposition of the old west in space, and then it's like confusing to the head, so they don't even care about the story. So that was the thing I had to get over with the Arcane thing when I first started watching it.
But how many episodes did you watch?
I'm literally 1.5 episodes
Okay,
in.
see that.
But
like,
no, I'm saying
you have to fit. You have to get into the show.
It's a minute by minute thing, so I'm looking
What
at
got
it and
you?
I'm like,
Did
this-
anything suck you in? Anything even pique
see,
your
as-
interest?
You surprise me sometimes.
Because the first
There's
episode is what got me.
there's
So I'm
a-
just
there's
curious for you.
a thing.
you said the which.
The first episode is what there was something in the first episode that made me interested in what was going on
There's a
more so than I had been up to that point, and I'm just curious if anything did that for you.
I think that the young kid that was trying to steal some stuff. I don't want to go too far, but
The blue
not-
hair,
no,
powder,
not the main characters, but one of the
the blonde
characters that
kid.
orange hair actually, and he
Why are you
got
being
taken
so
back
vague?
to-
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know this kid. He got taken back to the bad guys' place, and they
Okay,
got,
I know who you're
so
talking about. Yeah.
When they
It was like,
talked
oh, I heard you
about-
had a good haul or
They
whatever.
had. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away, but when they had the discussion about whatever that scientist guy was working on, and then he was gonna, he was like, well, we got somebody who just volunteered. Basically, all right, so that kind of made me want to watch it more because it's like, this is not a show that's going to be afraid to cross some lines. Like, they're going to basically like turn this kid into a weapon. I said too much.
I think you should watch the first 3 episodes. If you don't
No,
buy
what I'm
in
saying
after
is-
the end of the
no,
third, if you don't buy in at the end of the 3rd episode, then yeah, you probably might as well not even finish it. Like to me, like I get it.
It's the setting, man.
I
It's the
understand.
setting just make me feel bored, but like I don't see nothing wrong with the story.
As somebody who like I don't know, like you get into video games and you get into like the animation and the thing, like how you could not be watching the camera angles and the shit that they're doing
Hear
with
me
that
out.
and
I
not
like the art style, but it's the set. Put it like this: you can have a very you can go get Picasso, you can go get I can't even. It's a damn shame. We both went to the same like design programs and we know the same artists and stuff. But anyway, you can go get some of the classical like Salvador Dali or somebody. But if he paints a painting of a dirty toilet, I don't care how good your technique is. I don't want to see the dirty toilet. So what I'm saying is, it's not the art style; it's the setting of the art style. If that makes sense.
I guess I'm not understanding the
What I'm
difference.
saying is, the technique is good. Everything looks great. I just don't like that setting. I don't like.
Do you mean visually, or are you
Yeah,
saying you don't like the town that they're in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the town, you look at
But
the town, it's like
for
the
what
hell?
reason? Because it's a boring town. The town
It looks
like it.
stupid. I don't like.
Okay,
you
so
know,
the
I
look.
give you a
Wow,
perfect
I was just
example.
meaning the town itself or the look of it. Like what's
The look,
bothering
I don't
you
like,
about
I'll
it?
give you a perfect example. We just talked about this on the phone. The game with the dude with the knife or whatever, Dishonored. And remember I said I like that graphical style of Dishonored, but I didn't like the setting of the game. I didn't like how the town looked. I didn't like how the people looked. Something about
So visually, not
right. Like you could have a good technique.
because like
on
I could
something
see.
ugly.
I'm likening it to how Jeremy doesn't like stuff that's set in the real world. So I didn't know if
Right.
you were
I get
bothered
it.
by
No,
the way the
Yeah, that's what
town
I'm saying.
works,
Somebody-
or if it's the look of the town that's what's turning
That's
you off.
exactly what it is. Just like Jeremy don't like stuff set in the real world. So if he saw something that was filmed by J.J. Abrams and he's got like the little lens flare thing and all that going, but it's just a regular ass house, he probably would look at it like, man, cool camera angle, but why is it here? You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But that's not to say that the show is bad. Like I said, I have no problem with the story or anything, but I don't know.
I mean,
just
I
have to get
kinda-
over the setting.
I kind of was interested with the jewels, whatever the
Yeah,
crystals
what was up with
or
that?
whatever they're called.
Yeah,
So-
I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the way that played out. I really like the way they did the first 2 episodes with the showing it from both sides thing.
Yeah.
Like that's always an interesting storytelling trope.
You
know?
you mean the way the second episode started with him coming to the door?
Right.
Okay.
So you saw that far. You said you watched a little bit of episode 2.
I might have fell asleep.
Well, the dude comes to the door. Spoiler alert. We just see the other side of that when the
robbery.
guy came to knock on the door when he was getting home.
Okay.
Like
Through the
tried to
chair in
come
front of the door?
We just see the other side of that, and it was kind of interesting to see how all of that fell out and what came of that. And I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. When those things, when the little crystal dealies made their like lightning, I was thinking we were in the realm of like time travel. I don't know why. It was just my first thought of like what that did when it fell, and like busted out the side of the thing.
Are you fully up to date with it?
He's on
I watched
6.
it. I've watched through episode 6. I purposely did not finish it this morning because
We were gonna talk
thought
about
you
the
guys
first
were all
6.
going to be caught up.
I
but-
just couldn't, man.
so it's
I
hard to
tried.
even have a conversation about it. So.
Yeah, fire away, man.
Well, no, because
still gonna watch it.
I'm not
I
gonna
can
ruin it.
see him like tensing up his face
Right.
muscles when I say things, which to me indicates that I'm probably guessing things that are forthcoming or at least in the ballpark, and I don't want to know necessarily either. So yeah, sorry about that. Just it's I'm enjoying it so far. I'm at the beginning of the 3rd episode, and stuff is starting to up a little bit,
I'll
but
finish watching it tonight.
we'll see where that one goes. I don't know.
I can catch up tonight. Yeah. Arcane.
Yeah, I keep
Give it a
trying to
watch.
finish. I think I'm going to try to watch those.
I mean,
other
it just.
two
I guess I just like I said. I might have just bought into it way more than because of the art style, and I don't know. I'm on the opposite
Listen,
end as you. with that.
We need good quality shows. This show is a high production value, and they got a decent
seems to be
story.
quality,
So it's
yeah.
like watch good shows because we don't want to go backwards to a point when we were looking for good shows. So yeah, if you like animation, even if you just like storytelling,
I think
just
that's
watch
the
it,
most
give it a
important
chance.
thing, anyways, is the storytelling aspect. As long as you care about the characters.
yeah, like all my rant over there was just about the setting.
right.
As I
But
said,
like that's my thing with
story,
Lost. I think that's where
fine.
people failed after it. Is they thought we need some high concept shit. When it was like, yeah, but you're not servicing the characters, and that's what
Oh my
made
God.
Lost so good was the characters and like knowing so much
Every-
about them
every
and
2.5 seasons, somebody put out a new Lost clone.
right. And I
Yeah, it
wish
happens.
any of them lasted because like some of
Right.
them were half decent or started half good. Flash forward, that was fun at the beginning. Like then they started getting into their boring backstory episodes, and it was dull. Like it just went off.
I don't know if
track.
I don't know if I bought into that one at all.
Though
I might have watched
everybody
like an episode or two and
passed out for 45 seconds or a minute and a half, and then they flash forward to like
that's right.
6 months in the future or
I think
some.
my favorite Lost style show was the 4400. That's a show I really wish they had.
I heard
a
they were
chance
coming
to
back.
finish.
Yeah, but they're starting it over.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
should
think-
start it over because it was too many like big names that are big names now
Right.
that were part of the show.
He had a big name at the time, to be fair.
Mahershala?
Yeah. It's a long ass name. It's a big
Oh
name.
right. Good one, bro. You
Thank
got me for
you.
a second. I went a little slow. But yeah, Mahershala.
Who was the dude that played like the Jesus guy on there? Is he anybody?
I gotta look at his face.
Jordan Collier, I think was the name.
I'm gonna look at his face and
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly who he is.
He's gonna Google it, folks. That's how he's gonna know who it is.
Actually, I'm gonna Bing it.
You know what?
We probably we
Don't
could
tell me
probably
that
get
Googling is a
Microsoft
white people thing.
No,
Don't
I was
even.
saying we could probably get Microsoft money way faster than Google money. We're gonna Bing it.
That sounds so ridiculous. I would never say that.
To be fair, Google it sounded pretty fucking. Damn it, pretty ridiculous.
No F's, no
I'm
C's.
trying.
It's-
Sorry.
It's like back in the day with Axe Jeeves.
We at How to Watch TV would like to apologize for Jeremy's profanity, and we'll try in the future to accommodate in a more family-friendly environment.
And we also would like to apologize to the folks at Google and the good folks over at Bing. Bing, the search engine of the future.
I Bing. Do you?
Wow.
Ridiculous. I don't know. What other things? Is there anything else? I mean, like.
Well, the Spider-Man trailer came out. I mean,
I
if
want
we're
to talk
talking
about
like
Chernobyl.
Okay. Well, lay Chernobyl on me. I mean, I laid it on you.
Joe,
What
you are so wrong for a million different reasons.
Go on.
You are correct when you said that Chernobyl was a great show. I want to put that
Okay.
out there first. You were correct when you tried to warn us that Chernobyl was a little heavy.
Yeah.
You were wrong for bringing it up in the first place. You should let somebody discover something like that. People shouldn't be told to watch Chernobyl.
Why do
know
you
you
say
didn't-
that? What do you mean?
That is
I
a
like
rough
this.
show to watch, bro.
It is.
It is a rough show
Actually, I
to
just
watch.
didn't know if I was mentally in a place where I needed to like.
You
just
don't.
take
I'm
that.
telling you. I'm
that
taking
depressing
Joe's
ass ride.
recommendation away from you. I'm taking it back. That's ours.
But I'm telling you, once you get to the end, you feel better about it. Like you you said you were.
can't.
You can though. Trust me, you
Bro,
can.
they was sitting there talking to this chick.
I
all
don't
right,
think
look,
he's gonna watch it.
dude. Chernobyl won. What's the TV show award?
Is
They
it
won a
Emmys?
Golden Globes.
They
or
won Emmys.
Emmys.
Yeah, so it's a fairly popular show, and people should have seen it by now. So I'll give one
Spoiler alert.
spoiler, but we're gonna
Here,
say
this is
spoiler
you,
alert.
Dre. If you
Oh,
want
my
to talk
bad.
to the camera, that's
Spoiler
all
I
you.
don't know why I'm sitting here. I'm staring at this camera.
Yeah,
and the
no, that
screen.
one's not even getting it. All that's getting is your hand.
But I'll say this, right? Like, yee. But no, I'll say this.
You should go.
Right.
Crushing your skulls.
Right.
If anybody can write in the chat where that's from, I swear I'll send you $1.
Yeah, of course, that's easy.
But yeah,
I wouldn't be making promises to send people $1.
$1. And it's only for the first guy. And you got to be wearing purple shoes, and I need proof. But anyway, so with Chernobyl,
Why do you?
it's
But
rough,
but
bro.
why do you think it being recommended is different than you discovering it?
because if I discovered it, I wouldn't be going into a situation where it's like, okay, I'll just turn on the TV and if you do the little Netflix, recommend me something and it just play something random, and I start watching. And that's cool. You told me this was gonna be rough. You said, "Yo, you gotta watch."
Did you have to mentally prepare?
No, because I used to watch like the gore movies, like the gore horrors and all whatever.
I don't like that.
But
stuff.
this was not that. This was well done prosthesis, well done makeup effects, well done. Like this was too well done.
Yeah,
And if you've ever worked
it really was. If there
in
was
any,
such
like
a thing.
this, it looked real. So you see a character deteriorate like right in front of your eyes, and it's like, bro, that was a little too heavy. I didn't need that right now. Then it's like, I don't know how to say it. Don't watch it if you're a sensitive person. But honestly, yeah, it's a Emmy-winning show for a reason. It's really good.
High drama.
Nah, it's not even drama. That's the thing about it. It's more political drama than anything. Like, And the only
can
thing
see that.
I will give one criticism.
Like you said, watching somebody do the wrong thing while you're knowing they're doing the wrong
Right.
thing, and and you're like tensing up, like stop doing that.
I'll
Right.
give
yes,
one
stop.
criticism to it. I feel like, I can't say for sure, but I feel like a little propaganda-y in there.
Wait
where
till
it
the end.
feels like they were trying to say these Russians.
Did you see all the way to the end? Did you watch it too?
I got one episode left.
Okay.
Well, 1.5. So
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Because
like
you got to watch to the end there. Because we'll continue with what you were saying. I'm
But
curious
yeah,
where you're
it
going
was a
with that.
little, but we know that it was an accident. If you're old enough to remember, we know when it hit the news in the 80s. We know these things. But sometimes when you get that behind the scenes stuff, what happened in the background, it tends to be a little skewed towards whatever political affiliation somebody might be. So, it was we had the Cold War and all that stuff, and, Russia was supposed to be the big bad enemy for such a long time, especially in the 80s. So when I'm watching the show, it's like the Russian politicians was so against doing anything
That seemed even remotely plausible.
Right, like remotely
Responsible.
good or responsible to save lives. Everything was all about having faith in communism, and they would actually have that phrase. They would say that phrase.
But I think that was, rather than it being propaganda in the final form of it being the show Chernobyl, it's showing you that how they were propagandizing it at the time.
True.
Because you haven't seen the way it all ends up. We all find out. The interesting thing about Chernobyl to me was the difference between if that happened now. If that happened now, there'd be videos of the meltdown online in seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it would be everywhere. They didn't know about
that's
this
so
for
sick.
days.
Bro,
The rest of the world didn't know about it.
With their kids, happy because they saw the fire and they thought it was pretty.
Yeah, this bridge. They're just standing on this bridge.
It's
They
like-
they end up calling that Death Bridge.
The
By the end of it.
radioactive material is just like going through the air, coming towards them. They out there like the kids is playing. It's
It's,
So did they
Wow.
instantly melt?
no,
No.
because
It just got really,
your
really
proxi-
sick
and that was what was
and
dope about
within
it.
a year or two, they were pretty. Within 5 years,
The
pretty much
people
all
at
those
the
people were
reactor
dead.
were like instantaneously being affected. The people further and further away, and that's the exact part I'm at where the scientist, the main male scientist,
Okay.
is explaining to the elder Skarsgård. Can't remember what
The guy that's with him, the guy that seemed like he was going to be tough against him at first, and then was
but he
like,
wound
whatever
up-
you need.
He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, this guy's clearly right. He just saved my life like 5 times.
Right.
But then found out he can't save your life. He had to let him know, hey, bro, even us being right here, this
Us
far away,
doing this research.
just us trying to stop this thing, we'll be dead in about 5. We got about 5 to go.
Yeah.
Everybody you see these people walking around and all, we all dead, buddy.
Yeah, we're all on borrowed time.
Yeah, you're depressing the shit out of me.
It's
already
not.
just describing
It's
it.
not
It's
this
not-
uplifting show, but it's so well done that you're
Listen,
sucked into
You're not gonna
it.
turn this show on.
I
for a
understand.
party. You know what
I
mean?
understand. And yes,
People not
I've
gonna
watched
sit
things
around
like
and
that
have a
where it's like
Chernobyl watch party and everybody
Right.
gonna be like eating cheese and wine and stuff.
I guess I don't know, it's probably a little far fetched, but the documentary Blackfish, it's very depressing.
What is that about?
The captivity of killer whales at SeaWorld.
Wow, yeah, that already sounds depressing.
It
Yeah,
was
that
super
sounds very
depressing.
depressing,
It's
yeah.
very, very depressing. Yeah. It's a heavy that's another one of those like super heavy watches, like heavy, like holy shit.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, we don't have to have a like
I watched
like
the
discussion.
second season of the Tiger King.
Oh, come on.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
I can't believe I watched the first season of that.
The second season is all speculation.
I read a little bit about it, and it was just like it's a rehash of the first season.
And
you
it's just
watch
a lot of people
No.
talking about who
Why would I watch
did
that
what.
nonsense?
I don't know why we clicked that.
This is how to watch TV, not here's how to waste your time watching drivel.
I hate that little part of myself.
and
that
I, no
watches it.
offense.
And I'm almost even a little more mad at you that you would enjoy that setting
The
more than the
Tiger
setting of
King,
Arcane. But
the
no.
Tiger King saved a lot of people's relationships during the pandemic. Those first few months of the pandemic where everybody
Can we
was
mute
locked
him?
down.
You have a mute button.
Dude,
Yeah, let me see. Let me
you
check
sit
that
in
out.
the crib with your wife.
Hold on,
and
hold
you
on.
about to argue every day. You
And
think
How to Watch TV is now brought to you by with Joel and Jeremy only. Ah, damn it.
but no, seriously. The Tiger King.
I wish there was a shot on just him so that for the sake of a bit, we could walk out and then I could come back in and hit the wide shot and
chairs
it's
are
just him.
Hey, look, I'll do some weird stuff just to make you regret that. But no, the Tiger King saved a lot of relationships. That's no joke. It is funny. It's silly.
Explain why.
Because it was the right type of ridiculousness to take your mind off of what was actually happening in the world. The reason for the success of that show is because we were in a lockdown. People were at home. People weren't going to work. People were sitting in their homes with nothing to do. They was living on top of each other, and you can argue and like go stir crazy and hurt each other in those situations. But then you could turn on a gay cowboy from down south who has like 14 husbands and a boatload of animals and watch his exploits and him talking about that bitch Carol Baskin. It was a good distraction.
I watched it. I can't.
You watched it though. That's my point.
I did.
It was a reason you watched it. Joe Exotic was hilarious.
Joe Exotic. It's he appeared on John Oliver's show before the Tiger King ever came out.
Mm.
He was running for president.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. We could have had President Joe Exotic.
I suppose we could have. Yeah. Wait, what? He ran for president?
He ran for president.
He definitely.
He like John Oliver was making fun of him, like when he was showing some of the the off candidates during the election. On one of his episodes, he showed Joe Exotic, and that shit, like he was making fun of the dude, like clearly, like it was not like this dude's out here doing stuff, and we're gonna like show that he's doing stuff. Like in a good way, like it was making fun of him. We're laughing at you, not with you,
right?
Kind of thing, right? And like Joe Exotic took it like he was like the star, like he took it.
Yeah, it's like those reality shows where the one person is terrible, but for some reason everybody enables them. I don't understand how people like this survive in society. Like, how are you able to be so appalling and like
rules,
objectionable to people, but nobody seems to notice it except for like
There's
me.
No rules, man.
Like I feel like I'll talk to Jeremy about this. We'll notice like, how is that allowed to be the way they act in public? But somehow everybody around them, nobody's going, hey, you're super obnoxious or whatever it is. You're offensive or you're name any adjective. I'm just saying like
make for good entertainment, man.
But like, at what point have we ruined television with that? By making it just be the worst of people.
Literally, television.
And
went
making
down.
those people famous, like famous for nothing people.
And that's what I was talking about with Arcane. That's why I said watch Arcane, because that's what I meant that's what I was referring to when reality shows took over TV for a while, especially after the writer's strike. We just had a whole influx of terrible reality shows. So who got famous off of those reality shows? Who lasted? The assholes. That's why people watch those shows. People watch those shows to see the controversial character. There's a show called Black Doctors or some shit like that. I don't know. It's a show about it's a reality show about black medical professionals.
You surprised me.
Check this out.
With it being called Black Doctors.
Okay,
It's about
it's
black
not
medical
black
professionals.
Right,
Don't
right.
have a clarify that like I didn't know
The
what
only way that
meant.
could have been better is you could have
No,
said African
I don't know
American
if-
medical professionals.
Yeah.
I don't know if they was actually black doctors. I don't know if the name of the show is my point. I don't watch it, but I've seen my wife watching it. And it's about
It's called
supposedly
Black Okay.
black people in the medical profession.
Right.
But here's what's crazy. I sat down and watched it for a little while.
Okay. That is crazy.
These people don't act professionally. They argue with each other. Most of them hate each other. But then they'll go on vacation together. That's why reality show sucks, because it's like we like to see conflict with no resolution and no reason for the conflict. So whatever we have to do to put these
Ooh,
people
I
in a
like that
situation to
with
be in
no
a conflict.
resolution. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's
We like
no-
conflict with no resolution.
That's what it
It's
is,
just
though. That's what
infinite.
all. That's
Just goes
all
on
reality
forever.
show
Reality
is.
television is.
That's
Yeah.
that's it.
He's not wrong. It's a very good
Right.
description.
I would never go on vacation with somebody I didn't
Yeah,
like.
that's what they have
Well, they
house
do it on
parties,
purpose.
and then they invite
To create the
everybody
drama.
to the party, and then they invite the
They
girl
instigate the drama.
who got pregnant by the other girl's wife,
Yeah,
husband,
obviously.
and then they show up and they be like, "I know that bitch ain't here. She came on," and it's like, who the fuck would come to that party? And who? I'm sorry, but we needed that F. I earned that one. But who would come to this party, and who would invite her to the party? Reality show is not reality. It's stupid. But the people who are assholes on those shows go on to have big careers. They get money from this because we are idiots. We don't look away from train crashes. We don't look away from car crashes. It's a reason why we have Gapers delay. When you driving and somebody had a car accident,
Yeah, and then you're like,
People gonna
what's,
slow down and-
why are we not moving?
but
And then you
everybody
get
gonna
up to
slow
it
down
there's,
and watch
there's nothing
it.
there,
You know
and
what
you're
I'm
like,
saying? we like to see train wrecks, man. That's is what it is. It's part of our nature. We don't like seeing good stuff, or else the news would only report good stuff because the ratings would go up. The
Right.
news ratings go up when they report bad stuff. So they
it's
just keep
become a thing where at post 9/11 the rolling news ticker thing like that became a thing, and then it became news
24-hour
24/7.
news is
Yeah.
a part of the fucking part of the problem. Damn
No
it,
F's, no
man.
C's. Welcome to How to Watch TV.
7-1. I'm winning.
I have 0.
7? Is it really 7?
You got about 7, bro.
Oof.
You hot out here.
Bad.
He is.
Sorry.
Joel is
Jeremy is
profile,
not
but
into monetization. He does not like it when we are able to have ads on this show. He wants it to be for nothing,
There's
buy
plenty
nothing,
of companies that
earn nothing.
advertise with people who cuss.
This is
There
true.
are, but they're known and like people
Fair enough.
have heard
Well,
of them.
we
and-
can still buck for that Sasquatch soap. Come on, Sasquatch. Send me some soap, baby. It is
Squatch.
Sasquatch, right? Or is
Dr.
it Dr. Squatch? I'm sorry, the good folks at Dr. Squatch. Could call y'all the abominable snow people. But anyway.
If you could have any company advertise, if you could, like, if anybody would sponsor us, who would it be?
You got to come back to me. Give me 5 seconds because I want to say something extremely ridiculous.
Well, as opposed to like what it would really be.
No,
Or you-
I
or
want
you
my
would-
actual answer. To
You
be
would go out of
extremely ridiculous.
you would go out of your way to make your answer extremely
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous, and then suffer whatever that ramification means going
I would
forward.
love
Like,
for us to get a sponsor that you would never think about. Like,
Joe Rogan made it on Fleshlight for a really, really long time.
hey, he is a pussy.
I don't have a P rule.
Ha! Skirted in right under the rules, baby.
I'm
Shout out
already
to
out.
Kyle
I don't
Rittenhouse.
know what to tell you. I tried.
Just gonna make it Final Cut Pro
right.
acronym. No FCP.
All right, listen. A dope sponsor for this show. I think because we're just three dudes talking about TV, I think we would do well to be sponsored by
TV Guide.
a streaming. Jesus Christ, buddy! Set the bar low for the black
Sponsored
guy.
by Jesus Christ.
Right, talking about going backwards in time. There, we need a magazine to sponsor us. That's what we want in
I wanna
2021.
be sponsored
Can we get
by-
on that thing that's
I want to
by
be
the
sponsored
register?
by the Yellow Pages.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can
That's
find
another
out how to dial people's number with your rotary. Anyhow,
I heard they're
No,
making a comeback.
that's unfortunate. I would like to be sponsored by like a streaming platform, something like something weird like Quibi. Is that still alive?
I don't know.
You mean one of those weird like underlings?
Yeah, one of the
weird, like-
ones that haven't blown up yet, so you can kind of get a stake in the company.
Oh,
'Cause,
so
like,
we could be part of it blowing up.
right? Because
Yeah.
Netflix wouldn't give us anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We're not big enough to demand
But
like a
that-
back
I
end.
was just gonna say,
but
like,
if we
Netflix
get
doesn't need
in
advertisement
and
at this
grow
point.
with the company, then we can get a bigger chunk of that pie, supposedly.
Netflix just doesn't have advertisements, right?
No,
No,
they
I don't
Oh.
see advertisement for. I see advertisements for Netflix shows.
I mean, they
Trailers
don't
like
have
that, but
ads
like
on
here,
the
They,
service.
they
Netflix.
never have ads on Netflix.
I don't see that. I see Hulu ads.
No, he's saying like ads on the actual platform. There's no ads on Netflix.
Oh. No, yeah,
Hulu
correct.
has ads that will play back depending on your subscription, but
and depending on what you're watching.
Right.
Right.
yeah, because that's how I watch wrestling. It's live, so I have to watch the ads as it plays.
Yeah. The only like the weird part about that, and like even watching like NFL live on like Hulu, like not all of the advertisers that advertised on the television like paid for like the upgrade to the like streaming package. Like you get advertised on the streaming package, so like you get the same 4 commercials
Or sometimes
over and
you
over
just
again.
get 2.
Or just 2
You'll
of
get
them
that 2
during like a football
commercials
game, like
every
the same
single-
commercials keep playing because only those 2 advertisers paid to be advertised on the internet as well as like on the actual broadcast.
Right.
Because so like if you watch the actual broadcast, you'll get a different set of commercials.
I can't stand when you go on Hulu. Anybody else Hulu? Ever?
I have Hulu.
When you go to watch a show, like if I'm going to watch season 2 of the Wu-Tang show, and I click on there and I click start on the episode, it gives me an ad for the Wu-Tang show that I'm watching. Every time with like 911 with the what was it, Dave, like any of those
Gives you an
shows,
ad for the
it
show
gives you an
that-
ad for the show that you're currently watching. I'm like, what are you doing here? This is not how this works. I'm watching that show.
It
I already
seems like
clicked play.
Purposeless advertising.
Yes. What are you doing?
Like
and
I'm
it'll be
already
like,
watching the show.
911.
Show
is
me
coming
another
on
show that I might like
Big
in relation to the show.
Big companies, pay attention. This is important. You can change the game. Listen to what Joel just told you. Don't advertise your product to people who are currently
Viewing
using
said
or
product.
viewing the product. What you're doing there is creating a...
It is called a redundancy.
Right, like it's really stupid and irritating. If I'm walking through Target, don't tell me about Target sales. I'm already here.
Hey, Dre, could I hop in for 1 second here?
Go ahead.
Check out how to watch TV on don'teva.com. It makes no sense. If either you're watching this already and therefore you're there, or you're not watching it and you're not hearing me, I'm shouting into the void. It's stupid. Stop
Holy
advertising
crap,
to those
I just
people.
realized this has been about 6, 7 episodes.
7. This is
7
7.
episodes, and we haven't said like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, I did.
I don't like that stuff.
I did. I
he
don't.
We
said
had a
it.
long
I
discussion
kinda said
about
it.
not wanting to say
But,
that.
I was
but
in protest
I just
of
said
it,
it.
but-
I didn't say it like I said no. I don't want to say the words.
And
I think we
said, I'll
said
be
no,
the
we'll
sellout.
never say like and subscribe.
Right, and I said I'll be the sellout, so I'm gonna sell out. Look, like, subscribe, share this broadcast, share the stream, share the.
I mean, it's really the
video,
only way
whatever.
to get out there. You kind of have to say the stuff. It's like you can let it happen naturally, which is probably the better way to do it. But like I mean,
It's
I don't
not.
know.
It's not. It's just
I've
not.
been trying that for
I
since
assure you.
2005.
So
It's not.
then you maybe just need to lean to the other end
Eh.
and smash that like button.
Smash.
I'm not
that shit.
smashed. No, there will be no smash.
No,
Listen,
that's ridiculous.
This is what happens when you have 3 adults trying to hold on to that little shred of integrity that they have left. But at
I
the
have
same time,
lines. I
want-
absolutely have lines that I wouldn't cross in terms of just to be popular.
Like the whole like
or
sell
famous or
yourself
whatever.
thing, like the like shameless self promotion. I get it sometimes, but like I can't. I don't
need
know,
the
man.
camera
Like
to
that's
see
like the
my face on
my
Speaking
least.
of, check out Steel City Storm on YouTube. He is my favorite shameless self promoter.
Where's the camera? I need the camera to see my face on this. Hey, camera.
Oh wait,
guy.
wait, no, your camera.
Okay,
Come
I'll
on,
go
man, I
there.
got you.
Hey, listen, man. Whatever camera. Listen, I need you to understand. I don't care about what people think anymore. I just want some money, man.
I mean, yeah.
That's not a sellout thought. That's an adult thought. I have a lot of bills. I have a lot of things I have to pay for. Let's get some of that money, man. Because
So I
realistically,
need to stop saying the F word. Is what you're
Yeah, I mean, listen, this will be our last one where we
trying.
mess up. I guarantee you.
You guys didn't
will
mess
be
up.
the
You
first.
guys have been really good. I'm the
Oh, no,
one
I
who's
said
I've done
that
it several
word
times.
one time, and then I called Joe Rogan a pussy. But I mean, it is
Anyway, so segueing to
That's the best segue ever.
it was
Segueing to-
intentionally the worst segue ever.
Okay, good. Because mine before was pretty bad, but now Jeremy just upped the game, so
Right.
it's on him now.
Fire
He owns
away.
worst segue of the day, and worst segue of the day goes to Jeremy. And what is it for? What are we segueing to?
Bring up a show.
Yeah, I don't even remember anymore.
Okay.
Bring up a show.
No,
Let's talk
what-
about another show.
Another show?
Let's talk about a show.
All right, what show? Invincible? Is either one of you watched Invincible?
No, I
You
want to
watched
talk
it?
about Heroes.
Go on.
I have forgotten how good this show was. And
Did you
I had
rewatch it?
completely No, I literally
You
today
just
on
remembered?
the drive over here stopped at a store. I won't give free advertisement to the store, but I stopped at the store.
But if you
and on the
if you
shelf-
advertise on our podcast, we'll be happy to say the name Speedway.
oh yeah, Speedway, the place that carries Heroes on DVD. But in
Wait,
full
what
screen
happened?
format. No, we're joking about an ad.
Yeah.
But no,
Fake ad. Yeah, go ahead.
I stopped at this place, had to handle a little thing while I was there, and as I was walking out, I noticed the box set for Heroes on the shelf, and I was like instantaneously was like, "Oh crap, I forgot about Heroes." It was one of my favorite shows of all time.
What?
It's Frozen.
That's not the one I'm even on. That's weird. There we go. Go back to that one. Continue. It'll be fine in a second.
It's all right.
And the off-camera voice for Dre would like to continue the conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, Heroes, man. It was one of the dopest shows of all time. I think we got a couple of good seasons out of it before the writer's strike destroyed everything.
So then, like, see, to me, that just knocks it off any greatest show of all time list.
It can't, because Lost is still one of the greatest shows of all time, and the writer's strike also destroyed a season of that show.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
back now. Don't ever. And secondly,
is Lost any worse of a show because of that writer's strike season?
I don't think so. I think that it gave them the opportunity to have locked in already what they were going to do. And if they had played out their original plan, it was going to be a certain number of episodes for the final 3 seasons. It was going to be 16 for each season. And then season 4 ended up being only like 13 or 14 episodes. And they ended up adding 2 episodes to each season after that. So, and those particular episodes ended up being some of my favorites. Not that they added those like they wouldn't have been there without it, but it gave them a little more time to flesh out 5 and 6. Yeah. 4, I don't know that I would have needed more of that season. As great of episodes as were in that with the whole freighter thing, I don't know that I would have needed a few more episodes of the freighter when they were trying to. Daniel Faraday and all them came to the island. And,
Yeah.
Wow, Lost had a lot of twists and turns. But you know what? I'll say this one thing too. Because we give Lost a pass, the same pass I'm trying to extend to
give
Heroes.
no pass.
No, I'm saying the pass for the bad season based on the fact that it's not the fault of the show. It was the.
I'm saying I don't think it was a bad season.
I thought it was a horrible season.
What about it? What didn't you like about that? That was when the first time people interacted with the island from the outside, like from the outside world, right? I'm pretty sure prior to that wasn't the case.
I would have to actually, in order to strengthen my point on that, I would have to watch it over again so I can point out specifics. But I do remember at the time watching it, looking at it like, yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. And the same thing with Heroes. I remember looking like, okay, this is terrible. And when I found out it was because the SAG, whatever the hell was going on.
Yeah, the writer's strike.
The writer's strike. I knew, okay, these are the producers just trying to keep the ball rolling on this thing, so they kind of spitballing ideas. I give them a pass, and the only reason why I say it like that is because it's like putting an asterisk on something. Like when the White Sox won were on their way to the World Series, and then the baseball went on strike. We had Frank Thomas. I can't remember who all we. I can't remember everybody's name.
Ozzie
right
Guillen.
Now. We had Ozzie at the time still playing, and when we went on strike, I felt like we was gonna win the World Series that
Robin Ventura.
That's the one I was trying to pull out of my head.
But I always give that. I always call that year's team a World Series team. It's an asterisk there. They never really made it to the World Series because of the strike or whatever. But I
would say no asterisk. There's just no. The asterisk is the one in your mind that's saying they're a team.
That's what I'm saying. That's the courtesy I'm extending to those shows for having those bad seasons. I would not give that to Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones, you have all the material you needed. You didn't have to mess that up. You know what I mean?
They didn't. They did and they didn't.
George R.R. Martin wasn't caught up, or they had caught up to where he wasn't, but they had material from previous seasons. They still had the same writers. Go back and fall back on what made those characters who they are, instead of just like, I want to let's make Tyrion a moron. Let's I don't want to go back in there. It hurts. I don't want to talk about it no more.
It does.
It was bad, bro, and they had no reason to ruin that. It was. They had all the material.
Okay, so this came out because you were talking about that it hasn't ended yet or something, and saying that something ended bad, and so it kind of tainted it.
No, I was saying that like Heroes, like you said, the first 2 seasons were good, but after that,
It came back.
me-
I thought it was good, especially when
I
we went
did
to the
too.
carnival.
It
when they
wasn't
went to the
bad.
carnival and all that stuff, and they had the new. I'm gonna call them mutants, but I don't
Oh,
want to get sued by Marvel.
I know what you're
or
talking
Disney.
about. Yeah. The like after the third season
Yeah.
when Claire jumped off the thing and revealed themselves to the world, they
And
like
then-
announced they were
And
there.
then you had a guy, and they literally, and I'm gonna say mutant.
Once
with
Siler,
pride, actually.
Siler was it Siler?
Siler was still there.
What?
Yeah.
Once he left, didn't he
I
leave
thought
at some
no,
point?
He showed back up, didn't he?
I don't know. I thought he was one of my favorites.
It's been a long time.
It
but
felt like once the main cast started to peter out, like where they would go and do other things, that's when that show seemed to
But
fall
I
apart.
liked it because the new mutants, and I'm gonna keep using mutants. I don't want to get sued, but still, the new mutants in the show almost did exactly like the new charismatic leader of the mutants or the differently abled people. He actually did a Magneto thing. Like he tried to like build their own city and all this stuff, and lifted it up out the ground. He had like some kind of powers or whatever. The show was dope. I enjoyed Heroes. I like Peter Petrelli. That was one of my favorite characters on TV at the time. And I had no problem with it because, like I said, the one foul season that I didn't like.
Which
I
one
knew
was
why.
that? 3?
I believe that was season 3.
Because okay,
I want to say it was 3.
which one was the one where they went? Because I think people universally hated the season where he went to feudal Japan or whatever. Like when Hero went back in time.
That might have been a season. But Hero.
But that was really cool when it was all said and done. He ended up inspiring himself.
Yeah.
Like he ended up being the hero that he remembered from the past, or that he had learned about growing
I
up.
thought that was okay. I remember that. Like he
that
ended
was
up being
interesting
like
as
the only
hell.
hero that he was. Yeah, like the time travel stuff is depending if it's done
Time
right.
travel, I'm in. Like for the most part, I'm in on time travel. I watched this show, 11/22/63 with James Franco, and he went to this diner, and this guy was like, "Hey, come back here. I got to show you something," because the guy was dying. Apparently, he had been trying himself to walk into this closet where, when you walked through there, you ended up 11/22/1963 in that same location, and the guy kept trying to save John F. Kennedy. But the guy was old now, and he had been doing it his whole life, trying to go back to that moment and fix it, and he couldn't. And so he was like passing the torch to James Franco to continue that mission. It was a really interesting thing about the time travel and then the ramifications of stuff. And I don't know, I'm usually in on a time travel thing
Where
because
did you see this show?
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay. I'm gonna check that out. Even though I know what it's about, I'm still gonna watch it.
I mean, that's in the trailer. Like, it's not like I'm spoiling anything there, really. That's the basic gist of it. It's a
looked
lot
at
more
the swing
complicated than that. But, I don't know. I time travel stuff, just something about it. 4 was the one where they did season 4 of Lost was the one where they did the whole freighter thing. That was the whole Desmond
I think
losing.
the Constant was in.
The Constant was in
my
that
favorite
season.
episode of Lost.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like if you went back and watched it again, I don't think season 4 would feel. Season 3, the beginning of that was a little bit like, ugh, come on, get them out of the cages, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then we got 6 episodes and had to wait till February. Like that was some nonsense.
I didn't like that whole little community on the island.
I
be
see.
fair.
I loved all that
I
stuff,
didn't
the
like
Dharma stuff, like especially back in the '70s and all that.
I didn't like it because I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't understand it. I just didn't see the need for it.
Watch it all again, and there's a lot of stuff that goes along with Lost. There's a bunch of like bonus content where this girl, I think it's Rachel Blake or something like that, like she did like these vlogs, and this is back in 2004 or 5, and like it would tie into the mysteries of the universe of Lost, so to speak. And it's
Who was the girl that was pregnant on the first season of Lost?
Claire.
What the actress?
Emily, something like that. Emile
Emily something rapid.
DeRavin.
Yes,
DeRavin,
okay.
DeRavin, something like that.
There you go. That's what Lost gave me. Emily DeRavin. She made me watch a stupid show from beginning to the end. She played
You're gonna say Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. She played Belle.
But that was done by some of the creators, or not some of the creators, some of the writers on Lost.
Yeah, kind of makes
Edward Kitsis and somebody,
The
Adam
first,
Horowitz or something like that.
season of
Dude,
Once
the
Upon a
first
Time,
season I thought was excellent.
pretty good. Yeah.
The first 2, maybe even the third, was actually pretty good to me. it swung way for the fences, but once it got to the point where they kind of was like doing every character known to man in fairy tales and making it a dark version, it was like, I don't.
Yeah, it got a little out of hand.
I stopped
I
at
didn't
when they revealed Elsa. And
Yeah,
not because I didn't want to see that. I
feel
just
like
wasn't
they were
interested.
just latching on to the popularity of that movie at the
Right.
time.
They
Like, I don't
did
feel like
Elsa,
that was
they
their
did,
original direction at
That's-
all. I
that's
feel
where I
like
was
some
going with it.
network executive was like, Frozen, make it happen.
Yeah, pop it in there.
They had.
You know?
I don't think that was part of the original.
And they're like, oh, no,
plan.
but that's not our story. That's not the... I don't give a shit.
Frozen.
Frozen's making a ton of money.
Merchandising.
Put it in there.
Yeah.
We have the rights to use these Disney characters.
Plus, could they have done any
Wait a
better
minute.
on the green screen? I mean, like that
No. Oh
stuff
my
with
God.
Hurley when he
that
was the
was-
giant in the cloud. It was the worst green
No,
screen I've ever
that
seen
was
in
part
anything.
of the show. I liked the green screen on Once Upon a Time. When they would go into like
on.
castles and stuff, and it would be like so hokey and weird and stupid looking. I would laugh every time,
Yes.
but I needed it to be that quality. I don't know why.
What if it was better? You wouldn't have liked it as
I
much?
wouldn't even have thought about it. I would have just watched it as part of the show. But something about them never upgrading that green screen effect, it was like, dude, this is Disney.
Like you'd see all
This
these
is
purple
ABC.
artifacts and stuff
Right,
in the
like, this
background
is
moving. You're like,
literally-
what is going on here?
You are the mouse. You are the House of Mouse. You have all the money in the world, and you won't even get like better green screen. And here's the thing: it shows on ABC with better green screen, so you know they were doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I liked it. They didn't. They shouldn't have.
Or
Sometimes
they just said, we're going to spend our budget elsewhere and weren't given any extra. I don't think
Hey,
that there's any
Rumpelstiltskin-
chance somebody really decided, you know what we're going to do? It's going to be our quirk. We're going to have shitty green screen. I just can't imagine that creative meeting taking place.
Rumpelstiltskin was one of the best characters on any TV show ever. They overused him. They kept him in that show.
Was that the guy that was like at the pawn shop, like trying to get in the
Mr.
beginning? Yeah.
Goldman or whatever they called him as his alter ego. But no, Rumpelstiltskin was one of the best TV show characters of all time. But that chick that played his...
I don't know why that made me think of Teabag from Prison Break. Like that, as far as like because he kind of has that same kind of
I never watched Prison Break.
skeeviness. You've never seen Prison Break?
I don't like that guy's voice.
Who?
That guy that plays on Prison Break.
What guy?
The dude from Prison Break. The dude from
I'm the one who picks out weird details.
Right. What?
No, the dude.
What
from
are you talking about?
The dude from Prison Break is that show about the two brothers in prison, right?
Two brothers.
Okay, those are two brothers. cross attack with Mexican tomato armadas.
Yes, and
But-
then the grannies are coming, and,
And
they're coming hard.
Wow.
Now it's time to kick it into 12th gear.
It's
A
just
Mexican.
called Two Brothers.
Yeah, it's just called
he
Two
starts
Brothers.
fucking laughing at himself.
No, but listen,
Cuss
the two brothers that played,
No F's,
the
no
two
C's,
guys
no
that played the
P's.
characters for the two brothers, they were also
Yes, in some crappy
League of
Flash or
Legends, or
they
something.
were
Legends
on
of- Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow, and they were also one of them was also on the Flash. His
Yeah, they're the
voice
same
is
characters.
So, yeah, and they played the same character, and they played the same character in
Prison.
Prison Break. Because that guy's doing that. That's not his real talking voice. I refuse to believe that.
Who? Which one are we talking about? You just keep
The
saying there's two
skinnier
guys.
one.
Wentworth
Schofield.
Miller?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
his
that's his
name.
name.
Yeah, I don't like.
Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell.
Yeah.
I can't watch.
Dominic
anything
Purcell's
with
the
him in-
bigger, the one with the back head.
Right, and he's horrible too. I don't like his voice either. Everything about both of their
Wait,
voices.
but their voice is why you don't want to watch Prison Break?
Yes.
Okay. It's a
Yes.
great show, like
Would you
especially the
watch
first two seasons.
Bobcat Goldthwait do a whole podcast?
If it was live on
With-
YouTube
with
right
Sam.
now on don'teva.com, I would.
Nice. I wouldn't. Certain people's voices, it won't allow me to watch it. Like,
I guess I'm thinking back to Michael Scofield, and I'm trying to think of anything objectionable about his voice. He's just kind of mellow.
I can't watch it.
Does he shout a lot in Legends of Tomorrow or whatever?
No, they just talk like dicks. I don't like.
He's
I
not
don't
a.
think they talk. I think they were totally hokey in Flash, and I mean,
You've
maybe
seen
there was
both.
some
I haven't.
similarities, but like
I don't
they're
like the
like I don't know the voice thing, but like they just like that. I don't know. Like
I don't like his voice, man.
There were two
I don't
different
wanna,
things, I think.
I don't want to hear that guy talk at all.
It was a really compelling show. The way that they weaved it all together, his plan, all that stuff was really well done.
Did they
I
get
got
out?
to, huh?
Did they get out?
It was supposed to be a mini series, and it was just going to be like 12 episodes,
No, I'm saying, did they
Yeah.
break out? They
Yeah.
actually made it?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
multiple times.
Now, see, that begs the question, why did they go back in?
Like, I mean, do you want answers? Because
No, I don't like Fox shows for the most part. Fox produced 3 or 4 of my favorite shows, and they got a lot of...
like what? What are your favorite shows?
I like House.
I love House.
House...
Right behind Jeremy
House
there.
House for a time was one of my favorite shows of all time. Might have been my favorite at the time I was watching it
I
live.
just finished a rewatch of it recently, like in the
House
past
is
month.
dope. House...
So good. I don't remember the ending being what it was. Like, I thought he came back and had to face it, but I didn't realize that the ending was literally just
I didn't like
later.
that. I didn't like that was a torturous episode. I think was it the last episode or the second to last with Wilson with the chemo. I didn't like that. That was a hard episode to watch. But yeah, House was one of my favorites. Fox also gave us The Simpsons and Family Guy. And honestly, for the most part, a lot of their shows just suck.
I liked Firefly.
Except for
Wasn't that
Firefly.
wasn't that on there? Dollhouse was on there too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dollhouse sucked. But
No
I like
way.
Elisha Dushku.
I totally disagree on
think that's how you
Dollhouse.
pronounce her name.
They butchered the airing order when they aired it on TV.
Same thing they did to Firefly.
Yeah, exactly. So if you watch that, if you gave Firefly that consideration, do it for Dollhouse. It's a really
How many
interesting
seasons
story.
did we get with
Two.
Dollhouse? Okay.
2 full seasons, and the last episode of each season was like set in the future and was super interesting. You're like, holy shit, how is this even related? And then you find out how it is related to the Dollhouse. And it was like mind-blowing kind of,
Check it out.
like it was, I remember loving that one.
Dollhouse to my list.
My dog is named Echo from Dollhouse because that was the main
Nice.
character's name, and I was looking for a female character name at the time. My daughter River is named from Firefly.
Nice.
There were thinking of female character names again. Just
Sawyer.
yeah,
Gonna
Sawyer.
make sure
My son's
Joel's-
name is Sawyer.
Make sure Joel's daughter doesn't get a hold of a pistol until we check out. Make sure everything's good.
Right.
She might be an actual River Tam level assassin. You don't know it. Joe fuck around.
And no
Joe mess-
SSCs.
Joe mess around and say the
Hey,
wrong combination of
got one back.
words.
Right.
Say the wrong combination of words. His daughter just jump up at the dinner table and assassinate everybody.
Right.
River Tam, another one of the greatest characters on TV all time.
I think she was in Dollhouse, the actress,
That's probably why the show got canceled.
because she was in it.
Everything she touches gets canceled.
Okay.
She was in 4400, canceled.
What was she?
Terminator.
I don't remember her in
What's her
4400.
name? Summer Glau.
Summer Glau.
Yeah.
One of my favorite actresses. She's also oddly hot. I don't know how to say that. But yeah.
Somebody could be weird and good. Like you're like, they're not like
yeah, she was
beautiful, but they're
oddly
kind of
hot.
like, yeah. It's,
And look at me. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying something about her is very appealing, and it's not her physical features. I don't know. It might be the personality that she brings to the characters that she plays. I don't know.
that could be a thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a thing for powerful women, so she does usually play like a super character or something like that.
I mean, other Fox shows, Titus. Like, you didn't like Titus?
I don't even like him.
What? Why not?
He's the Guy Fieri of comedy.
I don't know what that reference means.
He's an over the top caricature, and I don't like people that do that. Unless
What do you see of his that's that?
I'm older. I'm older than maybe some of the people that's watching, but I remember him doing stand up. I didn't like him. I just never.
His stand-up to me didn't hit until the stuff about his family. Like that stuff to me
when
is
you go personal, yeah, you can.
but that's what I like about artists in general. I like Eminem when he goes autobiographical and starts talking about his real life. Like that stuff was way more engaging to me. The stuff with Titus about his family, and then even more so, more recently relevant, the one that he did called Love Is Evil, where he talked about his divorce and how he came out the other side. Like, dude, it's all really, really funny stuff.
I'll backtrack on this one thing. Because
But he
Christopher
does
Titus has
act
been
over the
around for
top.
so much longer. I won't say he's the Guy Fieri of comedy. That's disrespectful to Christopher Titus. I'll say Guy Fieri is the.
Is he like trying to pronounce Guy Fieri in some particular
No,
way?
that's the way it's
Definitely.
pronounced.
That's what I mean. But like, he knows the guy enough, hasn't just read the name, that he knows how to pronounce it. I just wanted to draw attention to that. Carry on.
No, he's a dick. I don't know.
I've only read his name and have never heard it spoken.
He's a black-haired guy who pronounces his name wrong on purpose, and and he dyed his hair blonde, and to me, he looks like he's trying to be Christopher Titus, if that makes sense. But anyway, long story short, yeah, that might have been an inspiration for his
Like
look.
the button-up racing shirt.
But he didn't have like brown hair underneath his blonde hair
Who?
when the show was going on. Titus.
No. That's what I'm
He's
saying.
talking
I'm
about-
backtracking. I'm taking that
Oh.
off of Christopher
He
Titus.
reversed it.
I see.
And I'm saying Guy Fieri might have been trying to look like.
Fair enough.
Christopher
To
Titus
me,
with it.
at the time when Titus came out, it changed. To me, it was like, I've not really seen anything like this, in terms of the meanness, but also still loving. Like, and I'm sure you could cite a million examples of that in TV, but I really liked
Well, probably now.
the
Everybody got
Papa
somebody
Titus
first.
character, and you know what I mean, like all that stuff. I loved that one, and then I found out that he did stand up too. And after the show got canceled, which he admits, that's a great bit too. Like him being self-effacing and going, yeah, they changed head of the network, and the lady was now the head of the network, and we went into the meeting, and she was like, I'd like the two main characters to break up, and he goes, I pretty much go, do you even watch the show? Because if they break up, there is no show. We're not doing it. Like all this stuff. And like, he was all charged up by the end of it. And he looked around and everyone was just like, like, and then the show, they pulled all advertising for the show that week, moved it to like Saturday night at 2:00, and it was done. Like it didn't get picked up after that.
Yeah. They
So like he was his own worst enemy there. But I get where you're coming from in the overacting part of it, or the over the topness of it. But like some of it is the way people tell stories. And like I like somebody who's not just telling me the entire story in their voice. Like if they can include some mannerisms of the person they're telling the story about. Like if I'm talking a story about my dad, I'm going to try to talk like my dad in it.
Right.
So like in that way, I get where it's necessary. And from being on stage, I could see why it's a little over exaggerated.
Yeah,
Because you got to reach the last person in the top
and
row.
Plus, I put Christopher Titus and his stylings in the same place that I put Jeff Foxworthy. And that's what I mean when I say caricature. Larry the Cable Guy.
Okay.
I refuse to believe that this grown son of a bitch walks around every day with a
He
blue
doesn't.
jean shirt on.
He
I
has
know.
admitted he's a
So
character.
I know. So he's a character.
Right.
But
He
Jeff
found-
Foxworthy,
yeah.
caricature. Where it's
Right.
like you've become so much of this thing that
You're just you might be a redneck guy.
Yeah, and it's like Snoop Dogg at this point. I hope Snoop don't see this because he's still one of my favorites of all time. But real talk, at this point, Snoop Dogg is a character.
When's the last time
Caricature of himself?
When's the last time you heard a good rap by Snoop Dogg? Like,
A couple weeks ago, honestly.
I'm
I
not
listened-
saying
I
when
still
did you
listen.
listen to one. I'm saying when was it like
No, it
most
was new. It was
Yeah?
him and Benny the Butcher and Jadakiss.
like
But I listen to underground hip hop. I don't listen
Yeah.
to anything that's on the radio.
his
or
style
none of that stuff.
just it got worn out
But
after a while.
I'm not even talking about lyrically or musically. I'm talking about he's a caricature.
Yeah. No, you're
at
not
this
wrong.
point Of the
But
personality.
I
of Snoop
I
Dogg.
understand both of those examples you gave. What would you be proposing that Titus is a caricature of?
Himself from those old comedy shows. I mean, it could be his real self. That might be him. But like I said, sometimes when people get to that point,
Well, I mean, he did this
see him as a
movie
thing.
called Special Unit where he was a cop, kind of just an asshole loser cop, and he got in trouble and they said you're going to be in charge of the special unit. You have to go hire 6 handicapped or disabled cops. And he wrote and produced the movie himself. And yeah, some of it is like cheesy kind of B-movie look effects because you could tell they didn't have the budget for it, but it's still kind of funny. And it puts all these disabled people in a position where they're not there. I don't know. It's hard to describe. They're not
if I watch
like
this
the
shit,
short
bro,
guy
I
is.
swear to God.
Oh, it's. I'm telling you, it's bad and funny at the same time. Like, I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm saying it wasn't what you expect from Titus. Like, and I'm only recommending it because you only know him as from that show, and like he's done he's turned really political lately. I'm not super down for it. I'm not super there for it, you know. And he's super liberal.
I only want
But
one
I don't listen to his
political
podcast, which is that.
comedian. And it's not Louis Black, even though I
George
love
Carlin?
Louis Black. Louis Black is dope. I wouldn't call George Carlin political in any way. He's more. No, he talks.
Political, not so much.
Okay.
He's about
Societal,
people.
Just
yeah.
more societal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Political is like Louis Black when he's like over here.
Yeah,
he's
meh.
clearly against the conservative ideology, so he speaks from a liberal standpoint. But
So like Jon
oddly
Stewart.
enough, the only
John Oliver.
Right, like
That's
that kind
political.
Of, yeah.
the only political comedian I like is actually conservative. That's Dennis Miller.
He got too heady at some point.
I liked
It stopped
because
being funny,
I
and it
liked
was
it
just
because it was,
snarky
like,
and
folding in on itself, and it wasn't. Sometimes my sister used to say, "Sometimes you can be so smart, you stupid."
I haven't seen anything from Dennis.
I get the same
You
vibe
don't-
from
you don't-
Dennis
you don't
Miller
do anything.
as I get from the talking heads on like Fox News. Like the smarmy, like you're stupid if you don't know what I'm saying right now.
That's
Like
what I like.
see, that's to me, it's such a turnoff, and like I'll never accept information from somebody that's giving it to me in that way.
But see, that's my thing. You don't have to accept it. That's how I like.
But then
watching
what am I
this.
there for?
Because
like
to
I'd
me,
like
it's
to
funny.
hear different
You
philosophies
ever
on
watch
things
those
with
conspiracy
comedians.
theory videos where the guys be like, "Oh yeah, and the Mayan temple was over there, and the space gonna fold on itself, and everybody gonna die, or whatever." You know what I'm talking about? Those weird videos
Right.
that you find on YouTube 3:00 in the morning. I like watching that stuff. I don't think it's real. I don't believe in it. But for me, it's hilarious. So when I see Dennis Miller doing his Dennis Miller thing,
So you're not watching it because you like all the things he's
no,
saying
I
or
don't
agree
believe- I
with
don't
what he's
agree with
saying
that.
or whatever.
but I just think it's hilarious.
To me, it's I like that's part of what lures me into somebody is whether or not I vibe with that person and their ideology. Not necessarily ideology, but like, yeah, maybe it is that. Because I like to know if somebody that I'm into is a closeted racist or some shit like that. Like I'd rather know. And
Racist people be funny as hell.
and
bro.
for the most part,
And
yeah,
I'm not
but
taking up for racists. I'm not taking up for racists. I am not taking up for racists. I'm simply saying racist people are some of the funniest people on the planet. And you can be different kinds of funny. Like you could be funny like Chappelle funny. And then you could be funny like Laura Ingraham funny. You know what I mean? Like you could be so idiotic but dead set in
I
your
just saw a
ways.
clip where the guy was telling her about you.
You
saw that,
understand?
right? Yeah.
Yes, that's my point. You
That
could
lady.
be so idiotic that I can look
Like,
at
I don't
you
think she was doing a
and
bit.
just I don't think she was doing it.
No.
And I don't think it ever caught on to her.
No.
At all. Like, even at the end when he was like, there's a show on Netflix.
She's like, "There's a
called
show
you."
called
There's
Laura.
a show called Laura
Yeah,
Ingraham.
dumb. I mean, it's such a stupid response. I can't even imagine somebody really being that dense.
And that's my point. I like stupid people. They're funny. They don't know
They're definitely
funny.
kinder.
Yeah, that's true. So they burning down your house and shooting everybody that come out, screaming, "Get out of my neighborhood, you richers!"
Richards? What?
I wasn't gonna say the other word, so I kind of swerved into a South Park area where they was doing a play on rich people moving into the community. All the blacks, all the rich people was black. Remember Puffy and Oprah and all them brought kids to the South Park community.
Okay.
So Mr. Garrett said, got everybody all hyped up about like real estate prices going up because all these richers was moving in. So they was burning lowercase t's in their front yard for time to get out of town, you richers. and then at the very end of the episode when they left, Mr. Garrett was like, well, at least we got rid of all them niggers. That shit was funny.
Wow.
Fuck yeah, that shit's funny. All right, sorry. That's funny. I don't care. That's hilarious. South Park.
For How to Watch TV, Jeremy and Joel would just like to say we did not laugh at that, and
Jeremy definitely laughed at
I
it.
don't know what you're talking
We
about.
watched it together a
we
couple
would
times.
never condone such.
South Park is hilarious. Man, South Park knows how to attack a subject and make it so ridiculous that you can't help but to see like the stupidity in it. That's why.
Yeah, they're pretty good
that's
at
why
that.
I still watch that show. But
Yeah, I watched one of the pandemic specials. It felt like, Like, it was okay.
Yeah, but it's just the pandemic special. It's from Tegrity Farms.
I know, it was just still, it was, meh.
Did you get
No, I
some of
didn't
the
see it.
pandemic? The pandemic special was called the pandemic special, and in the episode it was called the weed was called pandemic special.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That didn't make it any funnier, Dre, if that was your goal there.
Man, I'm not Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I don't care. They ain't paying me. Shout out to Matt Stone and Trey Parker. If you need some guys to talk about y'all shows for a little bit of nothing, send that money over here.
Evidenced by the fact that he just talked about it for nothing.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about it in better places, in better styles, if you send us money.
Wow.
We have no tech.
This is what the show is now. We're just begging for money.
No, we have no tech.
So if you're watching, give us your shit. We need it.
No, I'm just joking. No, seriously. But if you want,
We'll take free stuff too.
Oh, we definitely.
Send us your products.
All jokes aside, we will take merch.
Speaking of merch, be cool if we got some merch someday.
Joe,
Yeah.
that's a nice shirt you got on.
Thank you.
Jeremy, I see you got a nice
Jeremy,
shirt.
you're blending into the background behind your head there. So. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh,
Nice.
interesting. Yeah. One day. One day we'll come up with a logo or
Didn't
something.
have a shirt big enough for the old fella in the corner.
We did
Search
not.
through all the boxes. To be fair, that doesn't look like a double XL shirt either.
It's double X. It don't look like double X on me. I'm a large human.
He's judging it based on what it would look like on him.
I'm a large human.
Well, if I was wearing a 2X, it would be. Yeah.
Like a nightgown.
Are you flexing on
I'm flexing. I don't even know. I'm not even seeing it. Am I seeing? Oh, yeah, there we go. Anyway, long story short, I do have on the shirt from my little brother, Saint Dino Soul. That's a dope little black-owned business you can support. Go check him out on Instagram. He gonna give me some money for that spot.
What's the Instagram account?
I don't know. Saint
Well,
Dino Soul. Look at the.
Hey,
the
check
letters.
him out.
Jesus.
Figure it out. Find it yourself.
Oh yeah.
Good
Just
plug.
Look for black people on the internet. You'll find them. It's gonna take you a little while. You guys.
So are we gonna wait for Ghostbusters until he's seen it, or does he not care?
That's you guys' choice.
I don't care, man. We've already gone quite a while here.
What are we at here? Oh, an hour and a half already.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
up to you. If you want to do Ghostbusters another time, we
I do
can.
want to ask one question though,
Go ahead.
since I like to bring up random subjects sometimes.
Oh, so it's not about Ghostbusters.
No, it's not about Ghostbusters.
Go on.
I mentioned a couple of my favorite TV show characters of all time during this discussion. I need to hear something back from you guys. I would like to know who are some of your.
Are you
favorite
quizzing us? We're supposed to remember who yours were? Is that what you're saying?
No. Who are some of your favorite characters?
Well, he mentioned River Tam and
Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Favorite characters? Man, that's a
One of my
tough.
favorite television characters of all time, when you say that, comes to mind is Ron Swanson.
Yeah, that's
He's
Come
one
on,
of
man,
my
don't leave
favorite
me out there.
characters
Don't
of
do
all
that.
time. Yeah.
Ron is dope.
He's one of my favorite characters of all time. Like when at the very end of that show, spoiler alert for Parks and Rec.
spoiler alert for Parks and Rec.
I just want to say it but like when he buys out the Lagavulin
Right.
distillery, and then he can't figure out what to do, but she makes him the head of the
State park. Yeah.
the state park. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole fucking. Damn it, the whole freaking show was that. It was Ron Swanson.
Can't stop.
I can't.
His vocabulary is very limited, folks. It must include that. I don't know, man. It feels like one of those questions that when you start asking it, I start panicking in my brain
Don't do that, Joe.
because I'm thinking I'm gonna forget something, and I don't even Daniel Faraday is one of my favorite characters. The way that his whole story played out, the young Faraday stuff, when his mom was not allowing him to play music and she was pushing him towards what was his inevitable demise. And then that character, what he brought to the show with the time travel stuff and just all of the stuff that was introduced via him being there. He was one of my favorite characters on that show, and he was there briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was pretty much just season 5 and a little bit in season 6. Or no, 4. He was there. Never mind. He was in half the show. I take it back. I think the Man in Black was a super interesting character from Lost.
You talking about Lucifer from Supernatural?
What?
Possibly. No. You're talking about Jacob.
Jacob.
I'm talking about the brother,
Right.
the Man in
Jacob
Black.
played Lucifer in Supernatural. Right.
Okay, he was also.
He was also in Supernatural.
But yeah, that guy. He was also one of my favorites.
I'm trying to think of
Man in
other.
Black. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think of the actor.
He was also in Sons of Anarchy. He was an Irish guy. He got his throat slit on the side of the road. Not Tommy. I can't remember what his name was, but
I think he's the lead in a show called Bosch.
he is. He's a lead. Yep,
on
I've seen a
Prime
little bit
Video
of
or
that.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Marlowe from The Wire.
His name is Titus Welliver.
Titus Welliver. Yep. I quite like him in that. Yeah.
That's good.
What, pulling out that
He
name?
couldn't remember his own fucking. He couldn't remember his own name when we started the podcast.
It is
but
3 to 9 to 0.
I'm not. I promise you, I'm not cursing no more. I'm fully conscious.
He's
now.
decided
Do it
it's
again?
done. Yes, he did. Yep. He dropped one.
Hey, look,
Hey, man.
he's so used to it, he didn't even hear it.
I was looking at my phone. My mom was texting me. So.
Jeremy's distracted right now, but that's okay. We don't. It doesn't matter. We're
My
apart.
mom called me at an odd time. Trying
We're
to figure
nearing
out
the
if
end of our
okay.
conversation. It's
You gotta
okay.
talk to your mom.
I'm trying to think of other stuff that would be
The only
worth.
thing we didn't discuss that I wanted to talk about was the Spider-Man trailer.
Okay, well, lay it on me. What
I
you
guess
got?
that besides like Ghostbusters, I don't know. We got to witness it in the. I'd seen it already, but we got to see it full on in the. I mean, okay. Side tangent. Is that really an IMAX theater?
The screen is slightly taller.
But I'm
Top and
saying,
bottom.
yeah. But like, I've been in an IMAX theater that was way bigger than that. Like the screen was way. The one in Portage that is way bigger than that IMAX.
Yeah, but
theater.
the IMAX downtown is
Like a
downtown
dome,
Chicago
right?
is actually a lot wider than normal IMAX.
Isn't it like kind of around you?
See, that's what
So
I'm saying.
IMAX,
Like, this
the
is-
IMAX
didn't-
format has different.
Right, but it comes out like the one in Portage. I feel like that theater was like one of the biggest ones I've ever been inside of. It's like a huge screen, like it's almost it gives you like a stadium feel almost. Like it's a huge room.
Right.
Anyway, so the IMAX, it was a nice. The sound was great.
It was way too loud. Holy crap!
It was very loud. Yes. Okay. Anyways, this is the theater. I'm getting mixed up in my head here. We went to the theater last night to see Ghostbusters, and we saw the Spider-Man trailer, which is what I'm talking about right now.
Right.
Okay. So
He got himself back on track
did.
just then.
very cool. I think they're still keeping we're trying to keep the worst kept secret in Hollywood. They're just not going to show them in any of the trailers. Why
It
at
was
this
them.
point? Everybody is expecting it. Why give that away in the trailer? Like I think it's much more rewarding is if everybody's sitting in the theater during the actual movie to get that first shot of Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. They alluded to it so many times during the trailer.
Question:
What?
How would you feel if you go to see Spider-Man and we get Andrew Garfield, but no Toby?
I mean, I'm okay with that. I want to see at least one of the other Spider-Men from the old movies. Would be a cool.
The interesting implication there is that those movies do still exist. It's just an alternate universe.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So during the trailer, yeah, Dr. Octopus, who is Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2, you get Willem Dafoe's voice in the trailer as Green Goblin. So the villains are coming back. They just haven't showed.
We're gonna get a DA.
Spider-Man.
I mean, we got the whole "you're not Peter Parker."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He grabbed him and he peeled his mask off and said, "You're not Peter Parker," right? So, and there's another line that Doctor Strange says, which I'm almost with some of these other theories I've heard that's not the actual Doctor Strange. That's not our. What is it?
That ain't my.
What's the universe? What's the main universe?
616.
616. That's not the 616 Doctor Strange. That's from a different multiverse or something. He seems shook to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't seem as calm as Doctor Strange normally tends to be.
Yeah, and he's
in
got a
these-
same
Is there
thing
only
with-
the one Doctor Strange movie so far?
Yes, the next one coming out is Multiverse of Madness. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem right. Something that seems off with Doctor Strange, even in these trailers, and I don't know if they're trying to be intentional.
Why is he even why is he even like? I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Why is he entertaining the idea of messing with everything?
That's why I honestly I
doesn't
don't
seem like-
to me
yeah.
it doesn't seem like regular Stephen Strange after everything that they've been through so far. Our 616 Stephen Strange would be very hesitant to do the thing that they're doing in these trailers, which is the messing with the people's minds or spell or like
Or trying to open or trying to undo or reverse
Right.
time or whatever.
something. I think they're intentionally being misleading with the trailers, which is I like it. Mislead me, so I can be surprised. I don't want to figure everything
Can't-
out from the trailers. I really
I
don't.
know I've mentioned this.
I
to you
remember one of
before.
the Andrew Garfield movie. I think it was Spider-Man 2 or the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Is it just, or are they both the Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I think they both the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's the Amazing Spider-Man. Okay. So during the trailer, I remember seeing him jump up at Rhino, right? In the trailer. That's literally the last scene of the movie. That's what you see before credits roll. It's him jumping up at Rhino.
Yeah, that
like
was,
why? To me, it was like, why would you show the last scene of the movie? The very last scene of the movie you showed in the trailer. They did the same thing with Dune.
Yeah.
You got the last line of the movie in the trailer. It bothered me that they would do that. And I know that it's completely out of context, but by the time I see the movie and I see that, you showed me the last scene.
Yeah, why are we still at a point? I know we have talked about this before. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on air, but why are we at a point where we need trailers? You're not going to go see the new Spider-Man movie if they don't
There's
show
certain
you what's
movies
in
that-
it?
Hey, little quick history for the people out there who don't know this.
Go on.
Movie trailers are named as such because when they originally were used, they were to follow the actual viewing of the movie.
So there would be trailers for
They
the
would literally-
newer movie. Or
No.
They would
You
literally
watch
trail.
the Wolfman, and then the trailer for the Wolfman will come on after the credits because they trailed the movie.
So why would you show a trailer for the Wolfman after you just watched
people-
the movie?
Because back then the context was different. Back then it was kind of like a summary or something like that. I don't know, but the point is, over time it evolved to people using trailers to advertise the movie, and now you get what you get. It used to be old movie advertisement was about keeping as much about the movie and the plot a secret. And now we've gotten to a point where people are doing everything in their power to give you as much as they can about the movie to get you in the seats.
See, okay, I am a fan of a well-crafted trailer. Okay, I love getting hyped. Like some of those Game of Thrones trailers, like to go back to GOT, like when they would show like the season trailer, when you didn't just get the trailer with the scenes from the first episode, but you got the trailer for like the whole season.
Right.
Like those trailers were dope. Trailers for like some of the Marvel movies that come out. Some of the trailers are really, really good. They get you-
Hey, yeah. Speaking of that, sorry to cut you off, but what's up with Marvel with that? They used to lotto us in the trailers, but ever since
I think they still do.
Infinity War, I haven't seen the lie in the trailer yet. There was nothing different from the Eternals movie that was different from what was in the trailer.
So have you seen the stuff where about the scene in the Spider-Man trailer? The whole like Spider-Man jumping at all the villains?
Yeah, at the end. And
Right.
it looked like they fighting more than just him.
Yeah, like Lizard is totally jumping at nothing. There's nothing there.
Maybe.
So I think that's
maybe he just like free diving.
that's a blatant lie. They're
Yeah, that
lying
might
to
be
us.
a lie, and they might be going back to it. But like the last few Marvel movies, the trailers didn't change anything from the movies. Captain Marvel, they didn't lie in that trailer. They didn't lie in the trailer for, like I said, Endgame. They didn't lie in the trailer for
See, the thing is
Spider-Man Far From Home.
to-
They didn't deceive
I'm
us
trying
at
to figure
all.
out how to
And
word
I'm
this.
like, I was used to Marvel lying in the trailer.
I
to
think
hide stuff.
I think at first they did. Now you're dealing with such a huge, knowledgeable fan base about these movies that you got to play it a little trickier, I think. Like, I don't maybe necessarily lie, but misleading.
Is there a scenario where this doesn't play out?
What?
Where you go to the movie and there's no multiple Spider-Man and it's just the villains?
At this point,
Like, are you going to be disappointed with it? Because I feel like that's going to happen. I feel like people are going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen. I think there's a real possibility that that's not where they were going with it, and people just grabbed
and you know
onto
what?
it.
They have done that before too. Like, they did it to us with WandaVision. Like, WandaVision, there was some crazy theories out there that we were going nuts about, and none of that shit came true. Like, none
Game
of
of
it.
Thrones.
We was way off of one.
We were way off with WandaVision. Like, we had Reed Richards coming in with WandaVision. Like, that wasn't even
I
close.
figured it out.
Go on.
That's what they took out of the scene. That was helping Spider-Man fight.
Who, the Fantastic Four?
Mephisto.
Helping Spider-Man fight. What?
Come on, how
No,
do you...
what he's saying is there was a villain that turned his head back, seemingly
How did
looking
you
at
miss
nothing,
that
right?
joke,
Is that what you're talking about?
Everything about WandaVision, people kept predicting that Mephisto was going to show up. It was a callback to the Mephisto predictions. Thank you, Jeremy. You just made my joke worthless.
Man, I almost hit the end credit music there.
Worthless joke.
left
Jealous
Trey
of the
hanging
Wi-Fi
there.
went out.
What's that?
So hopefully we're still live.
Is what it is.
Uh,
Well, so we're going to have to do Ghostbusters separately. Maybe you and I will just talk about that at some point, maybe tomorrow or something, just to do it. Like, unless you want to join in on this, Dre.
Oh, no, I'm good. We did have somebody in the chat saying Ollie Williams, Gambit.
For what? What were we talking
favorite
about?
characters.
I think it was favorite character.
Okay.
Sorry, we weren't.
Yeah, I have too many to even try to on the spot think up. Like, because
Well, like I said, I said the one that immediately comes to mind, and I've said that 1,000 times. Ron Swanson is one of my favorite
Right.
television characters in television history.
Right, John Ralphio.
Nice.
He's hilarious, but I wouldn't put him as one of my favorite characters.
That
Not
was
Ralphio's.
He's
the
very
way
funny.
he popped in every time. He was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like that, in that sense, that character killed it. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen that show that they did, the improv show on Netflix?
I think I tried
Middle
watching
Ditch
some
and
of it.
Schwartz,
Him and the guy from
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
But I think he's like canceled-ish now.
Who?
Silicon Valley guy.
Why is that?
Because I don't think they're doing any more of the show. I don't know. Something happened.
With him?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong.
You mean they're doing any more? I thought Silicon Valley was over with anyway.
I was talking about the Middle Ditch and Schwartz thing. I don't think they're doing anymore. I think Ben Schwartz kind of distanced himself a little bit.
What
I
did he
think
say?
there was
Something
a
like
thing.
cancel, or did he like?
It might have been a female interaction kind of thing. I can't remember exactly what it was. Don't take me. Don't quote me.
I
on
know.
that, but
I mean, it's not like anybody's listening to us like for that
looking
kind
for
of
that
thing
kind
anyway.
of news. Yeah.
But
Just want to make sure I didn't libel anybody. That's all.
fair enough. But yeah, man. I guess we can get together and talk about Ghostbusters. I mean, honestly, just full on spoiler free review. It was my favorite movie of the year so far. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
You can make whatever grumpy
fully-
faces you want to make
I
over there.
fully
Greg, but-
enjoyed that movie. And honestly, what you asked me before we went to go see the movie,
Mm-hmm.
you said, "What are your expectations?" I said, "I have no expectations." I said, "I liked the movies when I was a kid. I'm not a huge fan. Probably haven't watched the Ghostbusters movie." And I was thinking about it today. I haven't probably seen either one of those movies in over a decade.
Right. Easy.
Okay, I loved every second of this movie.
We're gonna have a side discussion about how your expectations of what it is you're about to watch changes your intake.
We have.
and your view on it.
We've done that because we used to make the mistake of going, "Hey man, this is the best episode of Breaking Bad or whatever," and then he'd watch it and he'd be like, "It's okay." Yeah. So
I'm
I
saying,
learned
in
not
my
to
opinion,
set people up for
in
that.
my-
I'm
I
saying
sat in
because
that
you had
theater.
No expectations going into
But
it.
I had
Did
expectations.
that make it go higher on the list for you? Is it the best movie of the year for you?
I haven't seen anything better that came out this year.
I'm telling you, man. As far as all these things that are going right now, where they're rebirthing these franchises, like they're like tying them together. This
yeah.
was the best one yet.
I understand the trepidation of the way they fumbled with the last Ghostbusters movie.
It was that was awful. That was garbage. This
one
was absolutely phenomenal. Dude.
dude,
Like, I
immediately-
cannot say
I'm talking
enough
to two
good
young
things.
men who have yet to see 007, No Time to Die.
I'm
I
telling
got
you,
no time for
I
that.
can tell you this right now: there is no circumstance in which I'm going to watch any of those Bond movies, especially that one, and like that movie more than I liked the Ghostbusters last night.
So your
never gonna happen.
expectation is even lower for that, which means you might actually like it more.
Right, he might like it more, but
I said I had no expectations.
no, but he's
I didn't have
talking
low
about
expectations.
low for Bond.
I have no expectations for Bond either. It's just that I know that I'm not going to watch Bond and sit there and say that I enjoyed it more than I did Ghostbusters last night. I sat there with a smile on my face for that entire movie. You got to go?
Yeah, I don't want to say on camera why, but
Well, what just here? Let me just explain what just happened here. Dre lost the argument that Ghostbusters is the best movie of the year, and on that note, we are going to head out, and we'll talk to you next time.
Go see Ghostbusters and then come back to us for our review.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Ghostbusters. I'm gonna come back and talk about it with these guys, and they're gonna go see 007 No Time to Die and not talk about it because they don't like facts in better movies.
I mean, I
Shout
think
out
the
to-
reasons.
I'm an old school fan of both of the franchises.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's not. There's not. It's not like. Think of another franchise that came back and fumbled. I don't. This one didn't. From the very beginning of the movie, it started hitting all these notes that were like the tone was right, all this stuff. So.
I mean, I thought the movie. I mean, honestly, it was to me, that movie was perfect.
Yeah, they didn't. There
I
was
don't
nothing
think they
in it. That
screwed.
was like,
I
meh.
didn't see anything in that
Paul
movie.
Rudd
where
and
like,
Carrie Coon were amazing. in
I
it.
thought everybody did a great job. Like I said, I wasn't going in there to expect to watch. And honestly, like when it was a point where I wasn't going to go yesterday,
Yeah.
I was, okay.
And if I had to come back here and tell you how good it was, you'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
man.
dude. And you know what? You might have I am so glad that I went to watch it. I can't say enough good things about that movie. Go watch that movie.
The
that's
picture
how
of
I
River
feel
on my
about-
Facebook, it tells it.
You're
the whole
missing
story.
out if you don't see that
That's
movie.
how I feel about the TV show. Now TV show. It used to be a YouTube series based on the Karate Kid movies.
Oh, Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai.
Oh, amazing.
I had no
Great stuff.
expectations on it because when I first saw it, it was a YouTube series, and it looked like the kid that played Daniel. What is his name? Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
It looked like a passion project from Ralph Macchio, like he was funding it himself or
Right.
something. So when I looked at it, I was like, "This is stupid." Why? I never even watched it on YouTube. I was
Me
like-
either. I didn't watch it until it came to Netflix.
Right. So when it came to Netflix, I was like, "Oh, I remember seeing this on YouTube," and I just threw it on because there was nothing to watch. But I wound up liking it so much more because
That's
didn't
another one of those
expect
things.
anything from it.
Like, okay, so you can throw that right under that umbrella with rebirths of old franchises. That's a very good one.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai is very good. Have you watched it?
No.
It's very good.
Okay.
It is, and he's not wrong about that.
It's
As
not
far
a
as-
franchise I particularly cared that much
I
about.
wasn't, and me either. But
Yeah.
they did a good job with it.
Okay.
The
I mean, I liked when they brought back the guy from the bad guy from it on How I Met Your Mother. Like that was all entertaining as hell. It's not a movie about Ralph Macchio. It's about the other guy. I forgot the other character's name in it.
Johnny.
that's who the show's about.
Yeah.
That's who Cobra Kai is about. It's him. Yeah.
But like I'm
It's
saying,
very good,
I
like
didn't
I
really
said.
care that much about Karate Kid, but in retrospect, I'd watch that.
I care more about this than I do those movies.
I'm going to share a very personal moment right now. I cared a lot about Karate Kid because it was the very first movie I remember going to the movie theater and seeing a movie with my mom with. That's the first movie she took me out to see at the Evergreen Plaza in Chicago. If you guys from Chicago area watching this, you know about the plaza back in the day. The movie theater over there was the bomb. Everybody used to go there. And as a little bitty boy, that was the first thing I ever went to see. And that's what made me start liking movies was the Karate Kid. It was a dope.
It's a very good movie.
It touched me.
It still holds up. You can watch it today.
Not in a weird
Why
way.
can't I think of any of the ones that came back recently that just didn't hit? It didn't scratch that itch that the original one
Well, the
had.
Ghostbusters just made up for the fact that they came back and didn't hit.
That's what I'm saying, but I know there's like a million other examples, and they're
that-
all
to-
eluding
to
me right now.
To me, I'm not even that Ghostbusters that they did with
I'm trying to find examples on the wall.
with the girls. I'm not. I don't even try to get canceled. But the last one they did, the last Ghostbusters, that was not. It was like a reinvention. This is a direct continuation of the first two movies.
and done in such a
And
spectacular
done
way.
and absolutely fantastic.
In the
Oh, man, don't
absence
get me
of
all hyped up, man.
in
It's a
the
direct
absence of
sequel.
Harold Ramis existing.
Y'all about to make me go home and watch this movie.
Dude, go home. I'm telling you, man, it was my favorite movie of the year so far.
Actually,
I
I do
cannot believe
Like,
how much
this
I enjoyed
and
it.
Dune, there's no comparison.
Not even close.
Like, not even remotely close.
We crawled our way through Dune,
Yes.
and when that movie was over, I wanted more.
And you know what? We should have stayed because there was a post-credit sequence.
Mm.
We got the mid-roll one. We didn't stay for the after-credit sequence.
I knew it.
I didn't know
I
it.
knew we should have
Shout out
stayed.
to the, hey,
I knew they were going to
Everybody-
copy that format. Why the heck not?
It's dumb.
everybody
I
gonna
just
give
I
Marvel
stopped
credit.
myself from using the F word there. I didn't. I said heck
Everybody
instead
gonna
of F.
give Marvel credit for the post-credit scenes and stuff, but I'm gonna go and give it back to the OGs, the real ones, the first ones to do it that I remember. Masters of the Universe. Dolph Lundgren as He-Man.
I remember the movie, but I don't remember the
Skeletor-
post-credit scene.
Skeletor popped up out of the little bubbling thing at the end, at the very end of the credits. Skeletor popped up and started laughing like, ha ha ha.
Nice.
It's first
Okay.
one. Anyway, all right, fellas.
Yeah,
think
I don't know.
that's- I don't got anything else.
I can't think of any of the other
I would
ones,
love to
but-
sit here and talk about Ghostbusters. I think that'd be
I
interesting.
think we pretty
We'll
much
be back for
firmly creased these
Ghostbusters.
pants.
And Dre is gonna maybe check it out. We'll
Oh
see.
no, I'm 100% gonna. We gonna probably have to do one over the phone.
Did
or
you
something,
like
'cause I'm gonna watch it.
Ghostbusters? Were you into that growing up?
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that I enjoyed the movies. I can't
was
say that like,
never-
I
That's
bought into
another-
it like to the level like your cousin did, like where he's like a super fan, like you are for Lost,
Right.
like where he like
We
goes
both
and
wear jumpsuits just for different reasons.
I get it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like
Mine's Dharma, his is
I
Ghostbusters.
like he. I'm
Come on,
not,
come on.
being the super fan that your cousin is, he has to be absolutely thrilled at what happened. In
I
these
would
movies.
think so. I don't think they let anybody down. And that's the thing
like,
that happens in
I-
a lot of these. You don't
I-
get what you wanted from it, and this one gives you everything you wanted from it.
I think they nailed it. They totally nailed it.
From the trailer, I say they already have the tone correct.
I mean,
as a person who,
yeah.
I think it was like
the
like-
second Ghostbusters movies was the second Ghostbuster movie was a little more playful than the first. In some areas, it was a little more silly because they was franchising at that point. And
Yeah.
it was like toying with like
it was
some-
still good.
right. It was still good, but it wasn't as good as the first.
They
but,
leaned into the jokes a little harder.
I remember
Right.
liking 2 better as a kid.
I do
yeah,
too.
because it was more aimed towards kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so like they captured that. They did it. Whatever you liked
But-
about those movies originally.
Man, I'm going to watch it.
You
Go
know,
watch it.
you know when they slot people in to existing roles, like, oh, they're going to be the new this person.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel shoehorned in this movie. It didn't feel like the next movie you're going to go, like, for example, if you don't get the original team, you're going to be like, like, they've done such a good job in building these characters. I mean, Podcast, what a ridiculous character.
He was fantastic.
But it was
And
so good.
This is what Joel is saying to you right now is the same thing that made this the. Well, we don't want to get canceled. The previous attempt at reviving the Ghostbusters franchise. This is what
That
made
one
it
wasn't a female problem. It was
wasn't
a
the
shit
ladies,
canning
it
everything
was-
and starting.
It was that
as if
they
it
didn't
never
even
existed.
make it.
it wasn't a female problem. It was
They-
a bad script, bad
Yeah,
movie
they
problem.
just tried to make it like, all right, they even all the way down to the point of we gonna have one black character who's also not a scientist who gets thrust into this.
That's what I mean. They
just
literally
for a child. Like they
replaced
didn't
them.
even try to be subtle with it. You could have had Leslie Jones be a scientist. I would like to see Leslie Jones act like a scientist, bro. You could have gave us that, but instead you just did. Okay, Winston.
It was,
there,
well,
and
who's
he
going to
was
be
black.
this? Yeah.
Who gonna be the black guy who don't know nothing about science, bro? It's 2020, goddamn on one. It was 2018 or whatever when that movie was made. Black scientists exist. She could have played a scientist. They could have been a team of scientists.
But the heresy of not only having it be females replacing, but a female scientist,
a
you know what
black
I mean? Like,
female scientist,
yeah, I mean, just all the.
that was it's a bridge too far.
right?
You know what I'm saying? It was like,
But just slotting people into those roles is a mistake.
and also
Saying there was always these 3 white guys and then this black dude. So
Doing
let's-
it how
we
they
need to
did
do
in this
that.
movie.
And
They
also, yeah,
nailed it.
Winston wasn't comic relief in the first Ghostbusters movies.
And she was in that one.
He was Leslie Jones was the comic relief in the movie with all comedians.
Yeah.
But Winston in the Ghostbuster movie was the
He was
everyman.
kind of a straight man.
He
yeah.
was the straight man. Bill Murray was the comic relief. Dan Aykroyd was the comic relief. These are the funny people. Winston was the guy that was like, man, this is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
We dealing with.
He
some
was
crazy
the
stuff.
us watching it.
Yeah,
It was
he was
us
the
that
audience.
got
Like
the
this would be
audience.
cool
that
if I was doing this.
Yes, and he got thrust into that. But
But
I
people
like I said,
didn't.
I ended up Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, you fired away. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to watch Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I apologize for having not seen it because somebody went out to the movie theaters and didn't say,
Fair.
hey, Winston, you want to go to the to the movie theater with us?
Fair enough.
But
Well, it was just kind of a
I got
last.
a car.
We decided on. The
I
one
ain't
day.
asked for a ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you can call me for, baby?
You will from this moment forward be invited to all theater trips.
We will never go anywhere without Winston.
I'm not even
Places
accepted.
I watch TV.
See you later.